can check it real quick.
Yep, it's working.
Is it working? Hello, testing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I am so sorry about that. I'm gonna switch to. Can you put up the projector, the screen? We have finally got our mics working. Not sure why it wasn't. Turns out something in the system was just like, today is not your day to let people listen to you, Kim. Only to see you. But you can listen to me now. So hi everyone. Welcome back to the Wynnsanity's Pro League. This is week 4. Unfortunately, we have a slight hiccup with the start of the stream, but everything will be good to go now. As you can tell, I am not metalcore. No, I am not. I am not a tall, handsome metalcore. I am Kimbo Slice, and today, unfortunately, metalcore is feeling sick, so I will be subbing in for him. I am not the best caster, but I will try my best.
Yeah, sorry about that. Our computer decided it just wanted to somehow uninstall our microphone software, so we're good to go, though. Anyway. No, it looks like not many people have died. Unfortunately, some people have gone down. We haven't been able to get that. I know early on, the bit of action we did see was Lights Out losing a few members to OPGG. Looks like they're still in it as a team, though. But holy crap, we actually have a ton of people in this tiny cement factory circle. There we go. We're on.
Oh, man, look at that center there. Everyone's just crowded into one place.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of clustering up here. We've got G25 dead in the middle, with Invertus and OPGG right nearby. In fact, let's look at Juicy. Yeah, they have OPGG right up the hill in this compound, as you can see. And these are two teams that are in the top 4. They're going to probably want to take each other out because they are really big threats to each other. Some shots coming in. Looks like some members of Invertus are down. Yeah, we've got a big fight brewing here between Invertus and looks like Team 4. Oh, yeah, that's DSG. Estella's down to 1 HP, trying to get behind the tree.
And there goes Mike taking down Zelly.
There we go. Yeah, tried to get behind the cover. One last bullet that was bright, hopping the wall, able to get one more shot to take them out completely. Now we have 47 alive, and let's go back to G25. Looks like they're finally beginning to engage with OPGG, and they heard the shots from Invertus as well. They're going to be taking a few snipes over their helmet off with the M24. Let's look at Dramas. They are all alone. Even in this tiny circle, they've got plenty of space to themselves. And they can see, they know STK looks like is down the mountain a little bit. That's Munoz taking a quick peek with the 4X. Let's show you guys again where that map is. We can zoom in here and take a deeper look. Very small circle considering there's 47 people alive in it. That is impressive for these guys to have survived that long. And it looks like STK actually, even though they were being looked at by Dramas, they have In Pan We Trust on the other side of the bridge. It'd be interesting to see if this circle shifts to the east. In Pan could get bridge camped and gate kept by STK. We've got Genome Gaming as well. Here's DNA Chris.
Yeah, they're being surrounded by Illuminate, who are now starting to come up the floors there. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, Illuminate might know they're in there, trying to. Oh, we see a white ghillie suit too. Gonna try to surround the house. Maybe push up together. Oh yeah, there goes one of the members of Genome going down right there, and then getting thirsted by Patapon. And now that Illuminate knows they have the advantage, they can push a little bit more freely. It's a 4-on-3 situation. See him opening the door, being very tactical, using the third person we have this week to their advantage. Got to peek around the corners and use that greater field of view to try to see your enemies. Yep, here comes Armjoan. He's gonna push. They're gonna push together. That's a great strategy. They saw the member run across there from Genome. There they go. They take them down. And I know Genome is down to at least 2 members now.
I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm not the greatest caster. And so in terms of casting, I'll leave it up to Wynn to talk about what's happening and what's going on. And I'll just be here to provide some extra commentary to color it up.
At least we've still got two iPad views for you guys. Even though Metal's down, we've still got the full setups, which I'm really happy about. Actually, looks like Invertus. No, never mind. We've got Serious AF now taking shots and getting in a pretty big fight with OPGG. You see Uneven going down. Xanoth is down. All Sights is down. There's only one member left for the OPGG squad, and that is Acer. You can see him here in the distance. He is going to be just trying to survive, but he also has G25 kind of dirt rallying around him. We've got some action in vehicles here, and unfortunately, it looks like G25 took all vehicles separately, so they don't have any passengers that can shoot at Acer. Let's go back here. It looks like Genome is taking even more damage. Blood is now down. He is going to get taken out, and that's going to be it for Genome Gaming, getting completely wiped. And on the bridge, like we said before, we now have STK, and that is Acer. Looks like Acer drove up on a compound, thought he was safe, but he's going to be right on top of STK. And that's a 4v1. He's going to have to hide and hopefully not get found. We got long-range shots coming in, it looks like from Invertus as well. Here's Mad Mike. You can see STK maybe up on the second floor of that window, taking shots at Wi-Fi from quite long range. Let's take a look at Lights Out, too. It looks like Lucifer and Seagut are able to survive here. That was Outsider and Richie getting taken out earlier, like we mentioned. They do have Revenant up the hill a little bit, and that's Revenant is only a team of 3. I've got that weird glitch. Whenever you spectate someone that shoots, like my camera wants to shake as well. Oh, wow. And we got Versace. What is going on here? My camera got turned sideways there. Still 39 players alive. And still 12 teams, though. There's a lot of teams out there that only have 2, 1, or even 3 members alive. A lot of incomplete squads here. Oh, there we go. A team finally goes down. We have 11 remaining. Back on Acer and STK. This fight is still brewing here. Acer managing to outlast some of these other teams as a solo. STK's a little bit spread out. They've got to be careful. Of course, they have Acer in this house with Wi-Fi, but they also have another team across the street that's going to pressure them as well. Lots of shots going off. Earlier I mentioned it could be Inpan getting gate kept and bridge camped, but they're very lucky. The circle has been on them every time. They haven't had to move. They're the only team that's on the western side of this bridge. Oh, no, it looks like Illuminate has moved in as well on the northern side of this town. And STK-7 getting taken out. STK has been getting barraged by so many teams from long range. It looks like somebody finally got 7. And here comes Dramas moving into the circle. Will they cross the bridge, or are they going to just stop on the eastern side? Going to try to park their cars, get a little bit of cover. Maybe park them in a way that they can easily get out. But it looks like they're actually being taken, getting some shots taken at them from G25. G25 has to be careful. It looks like from the south they have Vicious Gaming coming up on their backside, and Juicy is down as well. Here comes Sakat pushing up. Maybe he's going to thirst Juicy, and he knows that that's G25. And Vicious, they're a team that's in 4th place right now. They're definitely going to want to take out G25 so they can get a little bit higher in the leaderboards. And as you can see, we've got so many teams now converging on these couple of houses that STK's been holding this whole time. Here comes Acer. Looks like, yeah, Tamal pushed into his bathroom, and unfortunately for Acer, he was alone. He got one of Dramas, but he could not get both of them.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love about like this map. The buildings are so there's
different.
So much places to like sit in, you know. That's why there's so many people still alive. Because instead of seeing all these people like open out in the field, you've got like these. They're able to just be on the 2nd floor, and everyone's like running around behind them. Or,
yeah, and you've got like these weird windows to even shoot out of. Right, you see Angry's got this like octagon or hexagon like window too. Right, all these buildings are super different than what we traditionally see on Erangel. And oh my gosh, we have so many shots.
There goes Steven down by Animal Squad, right? That's DL.
Yep, DL Animal Squad.
And he just got okay. Who's shooting them? Let's see.
Here's Sakat. He's gonna get knocked by Angry. Angry with the quick shots out the window. That was he made light work of that knock here. Let's go over and look at Invertus. They are taking up this northeast part of the circle. They're gonna try to gatekeep Team 12. Team 12, that's Revenant. They have to cross the open frozen river with only smokes to protect them. That's gonna be really dangerous with Illuminate and Invertus on either side of the river. Yep, there go the shots. Actually, Revenant going on the offensive, taking out one of the Invertus members. Sometimes when you're exposed like that, the best thing to do is just go full out and start shooting your way to cover. Here's Armjo. Looks like they're taking shots now. Espinoza. Yep, Tanker is going to go down for Revenant, and I believe they have a little bit of, yeah, like an abandoned boat here and some docks to actually get some cover. This Espinoza going prone just on the other side of this boat. The only cover, and you see Warnby was 1 HP, got a first aid off as well. Still 22 alive, and this circle is getting ever smaller here. Still a bunch of buildings in, so we've got a little bit of an urban finish on Vikendi. Looks like Illuminate has a couple members down as well. Here comes Martin. He might try to pick up his teammates. Armjoan did get to cover. Martin might move down and try to get that revive now that they will be a little bit protected from Invertus. So 7 teams remain. We've got Vicious Gaming, Dramas, In Pan We Trust, G25, and Revenant. Let's try to see who is. Let's try to see who's taking some shots now. It looks like in Pan we got even luckier here, and the circle is now still on their side of the bridge. This bridge is a crucial part of this end game, right? All these teams are going to have to push on one side or the other, and either crossing the river or on the bridge could be incredibly risky for them. Here's Dramas pushing up on Vicious. Here's Chris jumping out the window for safety, trying to make a run to cover. He's got only an AKM and a Pan here.
Oh, is he about to get the helmet off?
Yeah, helmet off's going to be pushing. He's going to flush him out. Here comes G25 pushing underneath the bridge, using it for cover. It's a great idea. Here's...
Chris, you better start running.
Oh, yeah, Chris went underwater, swimming under the boat. And G25 didn't see him.
No idea. They have no idea where he's at.
They didn't see him go underwater. That was actually a great play to know, right, that game sense. Where does the river freeze and where is it not frozen? And maybe you can swim down for some cover. Looks like we had another team go down, too. We had 6 teams remaining. Here's Panda, actually. Check this out. On the rooftop, he's got full visibility of the entire final zone.
Oh, Chris. G25. Yeah.
Oh, there goes Chris down from Vicious. Vicious is officially out, and only 5 teams remain. Looks like Panda's going to be trying to take out that door, get some better visibility on Dramas as they get pushed out. They're right on the edge of the zone, and for the next circle, they definitely have to move. In Pan finally will have to move as well. Illuminate is the only team that has the zone, so they could definitely take really nice shots at these other teams. It's all open river, open field, and not a lot of cover for these teams that have to get up into the next circle. Yeah, Rojas and Cheetah, actually, that was a great Molotov by Angry, actually. That was an impressive throw. You saw their health bars just get melted there by the fire, no pun intended. And now 3 teams remain. We've got G25. It looks like Angry actually is up top on the bridge. I haven't seen a player do this yet. Trying to find those sneaky spots where you can get a really good foothold, get some good shots without being seen. So it's In Pan, Illuminate, and G25. And of course, G25 will have to move. That's helmet off going down and getting thirsted actually from In Pan. G25 has to smoke up the river. They are, yeah. They've got to move quite a ways to get in the zone. And Illuminate, remember, they have a full team still. It's a 4 versus 3 versus 2. That's Sixless and Angry. Angry's taking a ton of damage to the zone. Is he going to get... Oh, my gosh. Angry got the first aid off at the last possible second. Let's see if they can run in and try to get up where In Pan is. Looks like Angry taking more damage to the zone. You can see how badly the zone hurts you. Wow, this late in the game. Let's look at Patapon, actually. He's got Dark Soul down, but Patapan is down too. Illuminate going for the revive. They have to be careful. They could easily get pushed around one of these corners and both get taken out by In Pan. And never mind, that's G25 finishing off In Pan. So it is very quickly now a 2 versus 4. Let's see if 6 can get Martin down. No, in fact, it's 6 that is going to go down from Martin. There's the frag, though. That was actually Mad Toy knocking his teammate. That was a poorly planned frag there. They went a little too hard to try to get 6 down and end up knocking one of their own. And Angry, it looks like he will die to the zone. He doesn't want to, you know, go into a 4. Oh, no, he's still medding. He's still healing himself over here. Looks like he's going to be taking the shots. Yeah, Oh, and Armjoan is going to get Angry, actually. So instead of just dying out and refusing to give those, you know, remaining 5 points.
God, look at those kills.
Yeah, I was about to say, too.
Holy
Martin with
cow.
12. That also might be a record in our league so far for a single kill performance by one player. 12, I don't remember ever seeing another player get more than 12. Of course, we've had teams I think, get up to 21, and it looks like they beat that with 22, if I'm correct.
Kills. And you know, the crazy thing is, Illuminate was actually in 10th place. And to pick up the, like, you know, their pace after the 4th week, now's the time for teams to, like, really show what they're made of. Now's the time to take everything you've learned from the first 3 weeks to really go against the rest of these teams. As well as, you know, this is the first time they've played Vikendi, right?
True, yeah. For our tournaments, this is the first time that Vikendi has been played competitively. So that is obviously a factor. Maybe some teams, like we saw Lights Out dominated when it was on Miramar. Maybe Illuminate is just an incredible Vikendi team as well. You never know. They obviously showed out here very well. And G25, though, I don't doubt that they will be taken over at that top spot. Of course, picking up second with 8 kills. That's actually a very impressive performance, even though they did get outshined a little bit here by Illuminate. In Pan, right, able to pick up 3rd place, too, with 5 kills. That was a great performance by them. They did have a little bit of luck, too, with those circles. It seemed like every single time I was waiting for that circle to shift east. So those teams that had to push across the bridge or push across that river, they were actually the ones that they could just sit tight the entire time and let all the other teams push to them. So, wow, 22 kills from Illumina. That is some amazing stuff. And like Kim was saying, right, they were in 10th place as we came into week 4, but that's not still too low of a placement to overcome. With 2 weeks left, and after this game, we only have 6 matches remaining, 2 today, and we'll have 4 matches in week 5 to wrap it up. Time is running out, but they're definitely, if they put up more games like that, we could see Illuminate skyrocket up the leaderboards for sure. So we can put those scores actually on screen for you guys to check out the...
They're not ready yet.
The scores coming into week 4 is what I was going to say.
Oh, no, because these will be changing right now.
Oh, these...
Actually, why don't you talk about I'm inputting it?
Yeah, so this is cool. We haven't done this yet before, but we actually have the scores literally live right now. So we'll be able to see these change as teams move up. You can see... Well, I'm not quite sure which ones have been already updated.
Is it shifting around? I'm going to do a quick test to see if this actually works. I'm going to give... There we go. So
yep, yeah, they're definitely shifting around.
Okay.
I'm not sure which ones have already shifted or not.
The first 3 places have already been inputted. So Illuminate, G25, and In Pan We Trust. Okay. Which is pretty crazy because In Pan We Trust, last week, they were pretty low in the leaderboard as well. They were actually further down. They were probably, I think, at 14th.
14th,
place.
yeah. So
they shifted up 3 ranks already.
Yeah, that 3rd place finish for In Pan was really good. I'm just gonna go. Let's go to the chat screen, and I'll let you do that. I'll let you update the scores as they go, and then we'll take a deeper look. But as you guys saw, for the ones that had been updated, that was G25 now nearing the 5,000 point mark. I'm not quite sure about the other leagues, but I would guess that there are just a handful of teams that have even gotten that high, if not any at all yet. So G25 has just been completely dominant every single time, right? And when they don't win games like first place, they clearly are able to still get second or third, get those really, really high placement points, but they're consistent with the kill points as well. The kill points, they aren't that much, right? Like, you can still do really well if you get good placements, but with 15 points per kill, then...
let me take a look at that real quick.
Yeah. Sorry, we're trying to run. So just so you guys are aware, Kim is doing all the work behind the scenes when Metal is here for the rooms. So right now we're trying to get the room set up, and she's also commentating too. So she's really doing it all today. But like I was saying, the kill points are only 15 per kill. So it's not that much. But when you come out and you have, like Illuminate did, 22 kill games, then it just is... all the gravy on top, and that's a lot of gravy for them, right? 15 points per kill times 22, that's like 330 extra points on top of the 500 they already got for just winning the match. So that is why you're going to see Illuminate jump up several places in the leaderboards there. And unfortunately, I think some of the teams that we had mentioned coming into week 4, like STK and Lights Out, that were really close to getting in the qualifying spot, maybe trying to dethrone Vicious from the 4th place, I think both of those teams will move down a little bit, especially with Illuminate having such a strong performance and maybe even leapfrogging them in the leaderboards. So like I mentioned, this is 3rd person. We had 1 Vikendi match. Then afterwards we will go to Miramar again, and we will go back to Vikendi Vikendi right now in PUBG Mobile is only available for the third-person perspective. So we were trying to get it in last week with the FPP games, and we realized, oh, wait a minute, you can't make any third-person or any first-person Vikendi rooms. So we did a quick switch last week, but we're happy to get Vikendi into the competition this week. And like I said, next week for the 5th and final week of the regular season, we will have 4 matches. We will have different maps throughout, but we're going to do 2 games that are first-person and 2 games that are third-person. That way, across the 5 weeks, we'll have an even split between all the games that were in the 2 different perspectives. So.
All right. So I've actually finished the scores.
Yeah.
Hooray.
So I don't have to say, Kim, give me the scores. She can just.
Well, you can still say, hey, Kim, give me the scores.
Hey, Kim, let's see the scores.
There we go.
There we go. We also have this really cool transition, by the way. I'm really happy that we were able to get that. It looks so cool. But yeah, here we go. Now we're actually taking a look at the scores after that Vikendi match. So remember, these are cumulative. This is not only the game they just played, but this is also the 9 games they played before that. So that's how G25 is able to be literally more than 1,000 points ahead of second place. But still, OPGG, they're more than, well, almost 500 points, 495 to be exact, ahead of RK, who is, but then the point spread there, right, is very narrow. That's
especially the points between the 3rd to roughly about the 8th. Actually, no.
Not even.
3rd
like
to 9th.
3rd to 9th. And then, of course, that 300 points is what, or well, sorry, I should say about 500 points, or really just one good game is what's separating RK in 3rd all the way down to Team Invertus. Of course, then you get down to Genome, who there's a little bit of a drop off there where, you know, Genome is only at 2175. But then it gets a little tight again, even from there in about the 10th through, I'd say, the 15th place spots, right? One good game there, you could see DSG jump from 15th up to maybe 10th. And you can clearly see, though, with this many games having been played, we are getting a little bit of separation, right? We've got those top teams, then we've got, like, the middle group, like we explained, and then there's, like, some clustering now towards the bottom. But I think it's impressive that G25 is able to come out and just dominate on a map that we haven't played yet, right? I think they've literally done it all. They've won or placed very well on Erangel, Miramar, Sandhawk, and now Vikendi, clearly showing why they are one of the best teams in the tournament right now, obviously with their points, but in just their performance when there's different perspectives, there's different maps. Really, you can throw anything at these guys, and they're going to just do a really good job. And, you know, same with OPGG. They're doing a great job, too. RK, that's a team that I don't think was in the top 4 for a while, but they had a monster game in Week 3, and that's why they are sitting in 3rd place right now. And it looks like STK and Lights Out, the 2 teams that were on the bubble there, they were in 5th and 6th. They got leapfrogged by Dramas, and it's still close. It's still anybody's game. We still have 6 more matches before it's all said and done. But, yeah, I guess this is really starting to heat up. But for the teams that are, you know, like I've just mentioned, STK, Lights Out, Illuminate, Team Invertus, they're starting to feel the clock is ticking, and they're going to have some pretty strong games if they want to actually dethrone Vicious and qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah. That's going to be intense. Playoffs will be happening in roughly 2 weeks. Actually, about 2.5 weeks. So this week is the 4th week. Next week will be the final series for the qualifier. So all of the leagues, except for maybe 2 of them, will be playing next week to see who will be making it off to the playoffs. Once we get to the playoffs, that will be... Let's see, what do we have? We've got the top 40 teams, 20 from the pro leagues and the other 20 from the contender leagues.
Yeah, so as Kim mentioned, we have 2 different divisions, the pros and the contenders. And when it's all said and done, we'll take the top 20 from both divisions. And then we'll make those 40 teams from, you know, some pros, some contenders, and we make them all play each other. And then from there, the top 20 overall will go to the pro championship, and the other 20 will go to the contender championship. And both of them have very large prize pools, tons of action, and that will be around the end of April. I think April 18th through the 21st will be our championships, and that's where you're going to see those big checks being written for these pro teams. But right now, we still have a little bit of the regular season to go to try to figure out who is going to make it. But I think, you know, I wish we could see, like in pro sports, you see like clinch, right? Like, you know, if certain teams have a good enough record, even if the regular season's not over, you know that even if they lost every remaining game, they're going to go to the playoffs anyway. And I would guess, even now, a team like G25 with that big of a lead knowing that they only need top 4, so that even if they didn't play at all and they slipped out of the top 1 or 2 or even 3 and they finished 4th, I would imagine G25 is one of the first teams, I think, to have clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Now, our point system's really complicated, so we'll never really know, but I've been saying all along, as these teams get immense leads, they could probably, and even now that the gap is more than 1,000 points, they could afford to just kick back, not even play, probably just watch the other teams play, and still be in the first place spot, right? OPGG is going to have to score more than 1,000 points in a game if they want to make up that difference in just one match. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to be consistent. They're going to have to now start going after G25 specifically to take them out early, and they're going to have to place well in a lot of matches to come if they want to dethrone G25 and take that top spot. Now, you might be asking yourself, why does the top spot matter so much, right? If the top 4 qualify, it's the top first team from each pro league that will receive a sponsorship and a contract from Omelet Arcade to be a sponsored pro team, right? They are going to be paid money to play PUBG Mobile. I think that's the dream of everybody. So we've got pro contracts from all the pro leagues, and that's why that top spot is so coveted from these teams. But of course, if you don't get the top spot, even if you're in the top 4, you will punch your ticket to the playoffs.
And the fun thing is, right now, all these pro leagues and contender leagues are all just playing within their own divisions. Once we get to the playoffs, we're going to start merging and mixing these top players or top teams from both divisions to see who actually is going to be the very top. Right now, they can be doing well in their divisions, but who knows? Some of these contender teams can actually, maybe they'll be better than G25 or, Gangstars or Contender Supervillains. We don't know, right?
Exactly. The contenders, right? It doesn't mean they're bad teams. It means they're just new teams. They haven't proven themselves yet. But you could get 4 guys that put together a team. Maybe they just downloaded PUBG Mobile last week, and they're super, super good, and they're in the contender division, and they're going to show out, and you really never know what could happen in these divisions. And like she was mentioning, when we start mixing teams, that's when you're going to see the real spicy competition come to play, right? You've got G25, who's been dominant in the Wynnsanity League, but maybe the top team from like the G25 League, that's a bad example because I said G25 twice, but the top team from like Sevens League or from Wicked Gaming's League, right? They've been just cruising and rolling through the teams they're playing against. But what happens when the best of the best play each other? That's really where it starts to get interesting. Now, that last game, too, just, to talk about the action we saw, was really interesting because when we finally got back into the booth, we saw the circle was literally this big, and there was there were 49 people in it. It was crazy. That was an actually really exciting finish to the Kenny match. I do remember this, too. This is probably the biggest highlight of the tournament so far. Week 2, we had all these teams. If you guys missed week 2, they all landed for one vehicle, and they decided to all go for it. And you can see they were driving around, punching each other, running each other over.
That's hilarious. This actually happened twice.
Yeah, and then it actually happened the next time we played Miramar too. It was crazy that pro teams will go to these lengths, right? By any means, even if you don't have a weapon yet, you got to get those points, get those kills. And I think we're going to see here coming up in a second, they started hopping in the vehicles with each other too. So they were in the back seat just looking at each other.
It's great. The next map is Miramar as well. Do you think we'll have the same exact thing happen?
I don't know, but with these pro teams, obviously you see these great strategies like the car strat, as we refer to, where you purposely drop on the road, get the vehicles, drive far away, and then you can loot in peace. But the whole part about getting the car, sometimes that's a little bit challenging too, as you can clearly see. So you never know. But yeah, it looks like we'll be getting ready to go into Miramar very shortly here.
Very soon. I think we're going to give them about another 30 seconds, and then we'll start the match.
Another 30 seconds. I'm going to just go through chat and give some shout outs. I really appreciate you guys being patient with us as we got our microphones fixed there. Had a little bit of trouble getting started, but at least we got to see most of the action there. That's what's nice about the pro games. Not a lot of people die in the beginning, so if we goof up our tech stuff, we can still hop in and basically everyone's alive. So we did catch most of the action, but I see some people, I see Hot Jukes, we've got Sixless, everybody coming in the chat, rooting on Lights Out. We've got some shout outs for Dramas, OPGG, and OPGG actually is a team that I've been really impressed with. I'm pretty sure that they are a relatively new team. Of course, they're in the pro division because they have shown their potential in other leagues and scrims and stuff. So they were placed in the pro league, but still as an organization, I do believe they're relatively new. Let's make sure that I'm in the game as well.
Go ahead and invite yourself on there. Hey, Metalcore, how's it going? He's stopping by on the stream.
And we've got Metalcore too in the chat.
Because I'm Metalcore for today, does that mean he's currently me?
He's Kim. We've got Kim in the chat. He's Metal Slice.
And I'm Kim Core.
Kim Core.
That doesn't sound too great, does it?
Kim Core.
Metal Kim.
There we go.
All right, there's a fourth player. All right, go ahead and start the match, Win.
All right, we're good to go. We've got you're spectating. We got all 3 spectators?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, we are starting right now. We're going into Miramar. Miramar, this is going to be wildly different than Vikendi. Not only is it bigger, the type of terrain is incredibly different. It's a lot of like low-lying desert areas, little tiny hills. You find where teams actually have to hide themselves and use cover with like little dunes instead of like shacks and buildings and stuff. So also snipers. I think that's one of the similarities though between Vikendi and with Miramar. With the really bright colored terrain, right, like the desert sand or the snow, it's so easy to spot other players unless you get those white or those desert ghillie suits that we have been seeing the players use to their advantage. And actually we can show you guys some really cool stuff before the match starts. You can see there are new 1-year anniversary kind of like structures and cosmetics in the game now. PUBG Mobile is now officially 1 year old. And you guys might be able to hear the music too. We've got some nice cool tunes. Yeah. Although, wait, we should be careful. I just read online somewhere that music in the starting lobby is copyrighted.
Really?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of streamers that had their streams like demonetized for the music, but it's okay. We don't monetize our VODs as long as it doesn't get blocked. That's fine. But yeah, it's interesting that the audio from the starting lobby has copyright on it.
Can you open the map for us?
Yep, let's get the map started.
Flight path. There we go.
Oh, we've got a lower path. We've got Los Leones right dead center, one of the best looting spots on Miramar. I'd be surprised to see a lot of teams go there, except one thing we have seen in competitive matches, the places that are usually hot drops, a lot of teams won't go there because they want to avoid that fight because they think it's going to be really hot, and then nobody ends up even going there to begin with. So we'll have to see where these players go. And of course, with a path like this, like we're seeing now, you're going to see teams flying both to the north side and to the south side. Sometimes you get a flight path that's kind of on the edge of the map and all the teams go one direction, but it looks like everybody will be spreading out here. We do have a pretty full lobby. We've got 16 teams in total and 64 players. So we've got 16 full squads too. Looks like we don't have any trios or anything here. Let's take a look at the teams again. Of course, Vicious Gaming. We have OPGG, G25, and RK that are sitting in the top 4 places like we saw on the leaderboards. Let's take a quick peek again at the map. Let's try to find out if any of these teams are going to accidentally land on top of other teams. We might have Inpan and Invertus doing the car strat like you said.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Here's Mad Mike just running down the road.
And Inpan we trust actually
and then
beats him
Inpan,
to the car.
Yep, they beat him to that truck like we saw it. But
Oh
fortunately,
my god, it's happening all over it. But he's on
oh
the
no,
bike this
okay,
time.
he hit Versace in the motorcycle, so they might be able to just get out of town. Yeah. At the very least.
We'll take a break from the car.
Yeah. Fortunately, the motorcycle did protect him there. There were some houses if they needed some cover and maybe a pistol or two. But as you guys saw on the board behind us, that didn't happen last time.
They're driving like alongside each other.
Here's Dramas, by the way. Oh, are they going to be chasing them down? It looks like they will. But here is Dramas, who landed dangerously close to Animal Squad. Animal Squad is a team that has performed pretty well on Miramar as well. I think they placed very highly last time in our Miramar match. Oh, there we go. We see Rojas picking up the M4. It looks like Dramas was running away for a second, but once they get looted up, they might decide to turn back and actually take the fight to Animal Squad. Still, oh, there's actually one of the new the newer guns in PUBG Mobile. The burst has a double tap. Interestingly enough, right? Most of the guns have a triple shot burst, but I love the Mutant because it's a 2-shot burst. It's a quick double tap, and you can just wreak havoc on other players with it. And it looks like Rojas did pick that up. He's going to go with the Mutant M4 combo. All he's needing is that vest and a helmet, and then he can really be good to go here. Maybe some optics, and then he's set for the rest of the match. Got some really great loot to start it off for him. And, of course, that's one of the biggest factors with PUBG Mobile is being able to jump and get geared up as quickly as possible, and then you can take the fight to the other teams, kill them because you have the advantage, take their loot, get even stronger, and it's just a huge snowball effect. Which you don't see many snowballs on Miramar, but you get what I mean. It's just a great thing when you get looted up early and you're able to just, keep the game rolling. Now, of course, if you land in a spot where there's hardly any loot, that's really going to hurt the initial part of the game for you, especially if you got to get to the circle too. And let's take a look actually at that zone. So we do have a southeast circle. Los Leones is still in it. A little bit of the southern island, Los Higos, is in too. Now that's like I think this is one of the most interesting places on the Miramar map. It's you get some more like the palm trees and a little bit more greenery down on that island. But of course, it's just so far away from everything that most of the time it's not in the circle, which is nice to see that it is here in this particular game. Now let's look at Genome Gaming. Genome is trying to take a peek at G25. Now, what's nice is that these teams don't know who the other team is until you get that first knock or get a kill, and you finally get to see the kill feed. That's how you're going to know that what that team is. And that's when you might decide, okay, we can take him, or, oh, geez, that's G25. We should probably run away.
I would probably run away, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Some of these teams might be fearless, though, and they might say, hey, that's the top team. Let's take it to them. Let's knock them out early and really hurt them in the leaderboards. But we know with a team like G25, that's not going to happen, because even if you wiped them, right, they're more than 1,000 points ahead of second. So that's not really going to phase them. So I'd probably run away.
I'd probably run away, too.
Yeah. It looks like they are aware of each other, though. They're being very careful in how they move. They're using this third person, trying to peek out throughout the windows. Some of the teams are a little bit spread out, so this fight, if it does break out, could be dangerous for either side. Oh, there we go. Chris finally taking some first shots at Angry, giving away his team's position. Now, if G25 didn't know that Genome is here, they do know now, and you did see a stun grenade come out. That's one of the lesser used grenades, but it does have some great potential if you can land a great stun. Helmet off, taking out Kaz now. I'm trying to figure out where helmet off is. I think he's over here on the side. No, he's behind, actually. Look at that. Coming up from the back. They now effectively have Chris and Kaz surrounded, and they've got Bulls and Blood cut off from being able to try to get in there and help them out.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have Juicy. He's moving forward towards their compound. Let's see, and then Angry still back there.
See some more shots coming out. Also, it looks like Animal Squad and Dramas. I'll go check that fight out, actually, while we watch this play out here between G25 and Genome.
Oh, there's Sixless with a knock on Chris.
And then he's going to get the thirst. Here's Tamal and Rojas getting some shots on Animal Squad. You hear that mutant now coming out. Paul is down, and he is right below Dramas. They are going to thirst him off there. There's Doba. She might get the knock. No, never mind. He's going to get finished off, and I do think that is a full wipe on Animal Squad. Definitely, as a team that's trying to get as many points as they can, that's the exact opposite of what you'd want, I think, for any of these teams.
Yeah, they actually cleared out those two guys in the Genome Squad in this building, so now they just have to locate the other two. So they're still... Where are those over there?
Yeah, I'm guessing that Genome, they're going to want to try to just get out of town, although it looks like Blood was knocked, and yeah, exactly.
By Sixless
yeah, like
shortly.
I said, it's that's Bulls now who's just going to be swimming away to try to escape G25. When you're the only player left on your team, at least your team's still in. It's really when all of them die. Oh, when you see Illuminate getting run over, I think he actually may have fallen out of the car in the kill feed there. But yeah, it looks like Genome, their strategy from now on is going to be just try to survive and get those placement points. They are in the top 10, so they're not too far down, right? Like, it's not impossible for these teams to get back up. But getting wiped early is going to hurt for sure. So yeah, G25, like we said, they're in the lead. They're coming out here. They've got 3 kills already. I think they have the most kills of any team so far. And that's it, I think, for some early action. Never mind. Wait, I spoke too soon. Let's go look at OPGG. And it looks like they're running up really close to Serious AF. There was an airdrop right in the middle here, but I would guess that's a flare gun. Probably attracted all the attention from the surrounding teams. Yes, you can see Aaron now is looting up that flare. Did get the level 3 helmet and the AWM. So if Serious AF can survive here, they're going to be able to use that AWM so well with this type of terrain and all these hills that are so great to snipe from. And remember that yellow smoke could always attract teams from the distance. If they saw the plane come in, they saw it drop, you're really letting everybody know your location from like 2 or 3 kilometers in every direction. Looks like all sites and Uneven now are probably the closest to fighting. We also have Zanoth who is going to be really close to Snatched. Snatched is going to be trying to take the high ground here. Trying to climb up in this this construction zone. Let's see if he can see Xanoth. It looks like Xanoth is on the opposite side. Yeah. Now, look, Xanoth is looking out the windows like he ought to be, but he's not looking up. That's where he's going to maybe see Snatched on top of the construction here. And even though he's laying around, I wonder if Snatched is going to be able to see him crawling through the windows because he has that height advantage. He can see down and see on the floor. So Xanoth thinks he's being sneaky by proning, but really Snatched has the perfect angle on him. Percocet, Acer, and Uneven are now regrouping over here. They might want to try to come over and help out Xanoth. You know, in a situation like this, you don't want your team to be separated, especially if one of these farm members gets knocked. Then you're going to have a really hard time trying to get to him. Oh, there's Uneven actually getting Aaron down. And I think Aaron is the one with the AWM, so they're going to want to try to protect her, or at least protect that loot if she gets thirsted here. Now, of course, OPGG, now that they saw they got the knock, they're going to be pushing. It's instantly turned into a 4v3 situation. And while they're trying to revive Aaron, OPGG has 10 seconds to get into the fight before they revive her. There's a nice peek and lean by Uneven. Trying to get the shots with the AKM. They are going to hit all sites. All sites will be down, but not out of this one just yet. Aaron is able to get back up on her feet with just a little bit of health. There she goes, getting that first aid off. And yep, here's Snatch like we saw from that overlook position, able to get some shots on the OPGG teams. That's Xanoth, who is very low, now getting a first aid off here. Now, fights like this, you know, they're great because you want to try to take out the other team. But if both these teams just escape and don't really kill each other, all they're doing is destroying their armor, wasting their meds, and wasting their ammo. So fights like this, you want to be careful. It's nice to engage, but you don't want to get caught in these long fights that are going to prevent you from looting and basically, you know, moving into better positions and stuff. You're going to get kind of delayed when another team runs up on you like this. Oh, there we go. They're Snatched. Taking some shots finally, giving him his position away on top of this building. And he did hit Xanoth just a little bit. And this is quickly turning into just a stare down across the street. Oh, no, never mind. Snatched, now getting shot from Acer. OPGG knowing... Oh, but Xanoth actually getting knocked again from Snatched frag. That was a beautiful frag from on top here. OPGG thought, hey, we have a 4v3 situation. Let's push. But it quickly just turned into a 3v3. But keep in mind, it's going to be a lot easier for them to revive Xanoth than it will be for Snatch to get revived. He's got to crawl down, and now Aaron is down too. This is going to be tough for OPGG. Percocet is going to be able to push up here, maybe get the thirst on Aaron. Remember, Aaron is stacked right now. She has some amazing loot. You want to protect that. Never mind. All sets going down now too. Here's Percocet, probably with that thirst, yeah. Looks like OPGG is going to be clamping down here on SAF. There we go. Yeah, taking out 2 of them. Picking up 2 kills as well. Looks like Wonder Boys fell out of a vehicle in the kill feed too. Man, people are having a hard time trying to drive around Miramar, that's for sure. There are the shots. Xanoth is down, but Uneven's going to push around the corner. Never mind, Uneven's going to get shot. But it actually was, it was Snatched who was revived up top, but they were going to finish them off, and looks like OPGG will remain a full squad. Had a close call there with Xanoth going down, but they did protect him just enough. Let's take a look at the map now. Do have a nice southeast circle, a little bit of coastline. You can see DNA Bulls actually. I'm not sure if he's just in the water or if he went out to an island. Oh, he did. Oh, there is a little island out here with a lighthouse. I've never actually been out here. It's so far out of the way, right? You wouldn't think to come out here, but in a situation like this, he does have zone still. He's going to just loot up to his heart's content and be completely alone. He knows there's nobody else on the island. Here's Lights Out. They have yet to pick up a kill, but I'm sure they've been just peacefully looting, getting some vehicles, trying to position themselves well and get ready for that fight. Because remember, there's still 51 players alive, so the end circle is where it starts to really, really heat up in terms of the competition. Most of these teams are pretty spread out, so I don't think we're going to see a fight in the next coming seconds. But you can see teams like Revenant and Wonder Boys, they're actually outside of the zone still. A couple teams, they opt to take a little bit of circle damage in exchange for being able to loot just a little bit longer. Actually, let's look at, we also have In Pan We Trust, taking the Murado down the coastline. All of them are in the same vehicle. And I'm sure that they're going to run up on another team here. Things are starting to get really tight around the south side. They do have DSG and, of course, G25. If they decide to go all the way over to Porto Periso, they could run into G25, which is definitely not what they want to do. I don't think that's what any team wants to do. Here is Illuminate trying to traverse some of these hilltops, right? These are the little hills that I talked about, some of these dunes. You can park a vehicle here, and it's not going to be seen by the people that are have the lower ground. And you can basically be covered from every direction because there's just so much kind of uneven terrain. You can just crouch like you see Mad Toy doing, trying to just take a peek around the surrounding area, see if he sees any teams driving by or trying to take a hill that's next to him.
We've actually got Percocet looking out at LO. See, where is that at?
Yeah, and here's Percocet. He picked up that AWM from Sirius AF. So I think that was a successful heist of their flare gun care package. They've got a buggy, and they don't really have to go very far because they have the zone already. But if they do want to be aggressive, they know they already have 4 kills. This could be a big game for them. I said before, they are going to need a really big game. And this could be it for them, already getting a squad wipe early on. Let's see if they go hunting for G25. Now, some teams have strategies that, you know, are pretty predictable. Like we always say, RK loves to go Pachinki, or even a team like OPGG, they love to go military base on Erangel. But I don't think any teams have any well-known strategies for Miramar. At this point, it's just jump where you feel comfortable, and G25 could be anywhere. So they're going to have to go driving around if they want to look for them. Actually, it looks like they turned around because there's another team that's coming in to their compound and firing some shots as well. That is RK. And we also have Dramas that's near RK too. So things are going to start heating up around Los Leones. That's Shy Crazy. Here's Kraken and Diablo. I'm sure Diablo can see Dramas. Yes, he does see the vehicle. Nice job with the Scar. He's going to get Cheeto down with the 6X. Look at him controlling that spray on the 6X very well. Got the knock. Instantly switched to the frag. Oh, he's going to push up.
Gets knocked.
Wow, that was Rojas. Dang, did not expect that, I'm sure. Thought he was in the clear. Oh, and it looked like he dropped his frag and hit himself, too.
At least he didn't kill himself. That was close. But here comes the
Yeah, they're trying to frag him out. He's got this little bit of a wall to protect himself. His teammates are going to move up and try to protect him here. Yep, here comes the smokes now, finally. I don't think he was able to get the thirst on the Dramas member he knocked, so it will be a 4v4 here. But it looks like Munoz did die earlier, so Dramas actually is only a 3-man squad. You can see a flare going up in the background too. Those flare guns, you know, that's like probably the biggest RNG in PUBG Mobile. If you find one of those, it's like one of the luckiest things, and nobody knows where they are, right? There's just a couple of them that spawn across the whole map, and if you find one, it's very lucky. Definitely doesn't happen every game. Let's look at Kraken. Going to be trying to rotate up. This is a very aggressive push here, just right out in the open field. He easily could have gotten shot, but he did make it to the building. He now has infiltrated this. Let's see what he does. He can hear all the footsteps. He's probably telling his teammates, all right, they're right above me. Going to rotate around, go through the door. You can see Dramas parked this vehicle inside, trying to hide that they are in this compound, right? A vehicle on the outside like this one is definitely going to give away your position. Looks like Lost and Shy Crazy are now pushing up. And this building does have multiple stories and a roof, so Dramas is going to be on the rooftop. They have the high ground, but they are kind of exposed. Let's see if RK decides to maybe throw some frags up there, try to flush them out. Fights like this are definitely like a chess match. You know, one false move and your team could be out of it just like that. Trying to understand when to push, pushing together, peeking around corners. Yep, there go the frags. See, they're trying to flush them out. Looks like they coordinated those frags and threw them at the same time. Comes another frag. I don't think RK understands that there is a roof or that they're on what you consider the 4th floor. They're trying to push around. They hear the footsteps above them. They think maybe that's on the 3rd floor.
No, I think they do know they're on the 4th because Rojas was shooting down at Kraken earlier.
I see. They had thrown all their frags into the windows, and now it looks like maybe a frag did come up onto the rooftop. I did see something being thrown.
Yeah, it looks like RK is now retreating back to the previous compound they're in. I guess they decided maybe it's not a good idea to try and pursue these Dramas.
Yeah, the building they did push to also has a roof access as well, so maybe they want to just get some
higher ground,
yeah,
peek down at them.
Yeah, say, hey, you have a rooftop?
Smart,
I want a rooftop too.
Yeah, that's exactly what we see Diablo doing, getting up onto the roof so he can look down and see where Dramazy's at, or he decided not to.
Actually, it looks like maybe you can't get on the roof. I can see that there's like some staircases on the side, but they actually don't go all the way down to the ground. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, Drama's continuing to shoot. You also see Panda in the kill feed getting a knock there, and then also knocking out another member of Vicious. Let's look at where InPan is. Here is Panda on screen. He's got Vicious just over the side. Here's Dark Soul. They're trying to use this bit of a ridge line for some cover and take out Vicious. Now remember, Vicious is the game that's in 4th place, so one bad game from them, and they could fall out of qualifying contention. And InPan is a team that we saw shoot up the leaderboards, and they are a team that wants to take out Vicious. So this is a very valuable fight for them right now. Don't want to let these guys escape. You want these points for sure. There's Chris taking the motorcycle. Can they get the shots on him? Looks like he is going to be able to get to cover. Here's Sakat. Oh, Dark Soul, the double knock.
It's almost like a firing squad. He got shot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I see him. I've got the knock, but then he got knocked himself. Here's Kush. Did get an M249, so he has he can shoot forever with this gun. This is a great gun, right? If you're trying to blow up a team that's driving by in a car, you can very easily explode with just one full clip from an M249. Wow, looks like Chris is going to come back down to try to revive Sakat. And Raven is going to take the high ground to try to protect them, keeping InPan at bay, forcing them to stay on the other side of the road. Now, of course, the zone now passing through, all the teams will take a little bit of damage, and that's going to become just another factor in this fight. Not doing a ton of damage right now, but when the circle closes, that little bit of ticking on your health bar starts to increase even more. Looks like InPan deciding to just get the heck out of there. Don't want to play against Vicious and the zone 2. Of course, they did get a knock, so they know that's Vicious, and it's interesting that they want to just run away and live to fight another day. Of course, Vicious now going to take some long-range shots at InPan. Maybe InPan wants to rotate around and try to gatekeep Vicious if they remember where they are and they can rotate around to the north side. That might be a good strategy for taking that team out. OPGG getting taken out. And oh, it looks like Illuminate Martin with the M249 taking out Juicy in the kill feed. OPGG now finally getting some knocks on STK.
Here comes DSG Easy, Dead Serious Gaming, coming up onto Lights Out Outside. I don't think... Yep, he's about to throw that Molly right over there on the hill. Outsider is pretty separate from the rest of his team. He's up there by himself. It looks like the rest of Dead Serious Gaming is going to put a chase onto him. All right. Yeah,
Outsider's just going to regroup back with the rest of his teammates. Trying to cross this field, kind of a risky play. He does have DSG to the south, and we do see Invertus off in the distance. They see Lights Out.
Oh,
there's Versace with the M249 as well, and a 4X too. And look at that. Just to add a little bit of stress to these teams, there's now an airdrop right in the middle of the field. Looks like the smoke will fade, though, fortunately for them. And that is Illuminate now backing off just a little bit. Some shots in the distance, too. Let's look at the zone. That circle is shrinking very, very small on this southeast side. You can see it. Los Leones is where the fight started and where it's going to end, apparently. Armjone is taking some shots as well. I think he saw OPGG drive by and probably took some shots at their car. Here's Mad Toy as well. He's got the high ground. He has OPGG just below him in this broken down building. And check this out. He actually has G25 on the mountaintop too. G25, like we saw in week 2, I believe, taking the high ground on these mountains can prove very valuable in final circles like this. And we did see Juicy had got knocked in the kill feed. It looks like G25 was able to get him picked up. He is boosted. He'll get back to full health, and G25 maybe had a little bit of a scare there, but they were able to recover. This may be the exact same mountain they were on before. If not, it's very similar. And you can see Lights Out just below, too. Here comes some long-range shots on Invertus as they drive by. They've got to be careful because they're driving up on Lights Out. They are in a pinch. Go one way, you've got G25, and then you go the other way, you've got Lights Out. They're going to have to crash up on the rock. He is going to die from fall damage?
No, I think he just hit that rock a little bit too hard.
Oh, did he take I've seen that happen just a couple times, right? You think, okay, I've got enough health where I can crash into this rock and survive. But right before you crash, a bullet hits you, drops your health bar, and then you crash. And that little bit of damage you thought you could take, well, that's actually going to knock you out. And that's what we saw, I think, happen to General. And Dramas is now moving up on the high ground over Lights Out as well. Lights Out, they do have cover from all angles, but they are exposed to a team if they did get run up on from the east.
Yeah, and Wonder Boy is actually right about to drive up into Lights Out.
Yeah, that's a good call. Here comes Wonder Boys, like you mentioned. This is there's a lot of teams in this open field. You can definitely see why getting cover is very difficult in areas like this on Miramar. Inpan also getting into a fight with Illuminate too. Yeah, there we go. He is getting finished off, and I do think Inpan is now out of it for good. Yes, Inpan is fully eliminated. The three teams that have been taken out completely, that's Animal Squad, Inpan, and Serious AF, are no longer in the match. We do have a couple teams that have one member alive too, trying to get some placement points and carry their team to a higher finish. Illuminate, STK taking damage from the zone. Lights Out with Invertus surrounding them, and they do have G25 on top of the mountain. And G25, they did get the circle. Check that out. That's really lucky for them. They didn't have to come down from that mountain. And teams like Lights Out, they have to go around because that terrain is too steep for them to climb up. Yep, here's Lights Out. They did get a little bit more high ground. Still not in the zone. Let's look at Dramas, who's been taking quite a few shots over here.
Yeah, they've got themselves in a really nice position where they can have their backs covered from the mountain, but still be able to see everyone who's starting to come into this new zone.
Yeah, and you can even use the vehicles as cover too if you want, right? Like that's always a last resort. If there's no cover, you might as well park some cars and hide behind that. Now,
yeah,
Outsider.
Able to see Revenant over here starting to run up into the zone. That's what happens when you're a little bit late to the party. All these other teams who are already kind of slightly positioned better are now just going to start taking shots at these guys.
Yeah, they can gatekeep very easily, especially when you're on top of a mountain and have complete visibility over the low ground. And that's actually Revenant. So Revenant is in a fight right now with DSG. That's Revenant finally taking out DSG, eliminating them completely from the match. But now they have a much bigger problem, and that is the zone's going to be moving in just 30 seconds, and Dramas can see them very well. Yeah, you see Warrenby trying to take shots back at Dramas, maybe soften them up a little bit so they can escape here. Looks like Arm Zone getting taken out by Wonder Boys. I think Wonder Boys and Illuminate are in a fight right now. Yeah, you can see actually Wonder Boys is running across the open desert. This is exactly what you don't want to see happen. Yep, he's seen, and now he's going to be taking some shots. He's going to go prone, but he realized, nope, I can go prone, but they're still going to see me there. Are they going to get that one last shot? No, he's going to... Oh, he just got to cover and got knocked. At least now that he can get revived. But Wonder Boys is in a bad spot right now, and here comes the zone. It might not hurt that much, but like I said earlier, when it closes, this next circle is going to do a ton of damage. Here's Lucifer. I think he's got Illuminate just down the hill. He's going to be running up, maybe peek over this edge.
Here comes Drama Z wiping out pretty much almost all of Revenant. They've got 2 down already. There's 2 more guys out there. They're all in the blue zone now too.
I think Wonder Boys is they're trying to med up. A lot of their teams are down. CGO is the only one still standing. He just got a first aid there.
Shadow, I think he just walked off before finishing his med kit and got himself knocked.
Oh no, that is a rookie mistake. You got to make sure you finish your meds before you run away.
And Tamal, how are?
Oh yeah, one of them from the Blade Zone.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't kit himself either, and he just got himself knocked as well.
Yeah, actually, let's look at Illuminate too. They are trying to run into the circle, and just to the north of them, they have that is Dramas that you were talking about.
That is so unfortunate. They lost 2 players from not medding.
Dramas lost another one. Rojas is the only guy still alive that survived the play zone. And he has to be careful because if he goes up this hill, he's got 2 Illuminate members that are hunting for him right now. Let's also look at the situation between Lights Out and G25 is pretty interesting. Lights Out, they have Versace just above them. You can see Lucifer's trying to throw some frags. Here come the smokes right now.
There goes Helmanoff taking a knock on Patty Pan on Illuminate.
Here's G25. They did have that high positioning on the mountain. Looks like, the high position can be great because you can see everybody, but that means most of the time they can see you too. So they have to be careful from teams like RK that are down on the other side. Oh, looks like Lights Out and Versace from Verse are finally fighting. Lucifer. Oh, wow. Lucifer had very low health. Finally saw Versace. Can he get the revive? Nope. Seagut's telling him, just go on without me, man. You've got to go. Lucifer now stuck. He's going to die to the play zone, I believe. Yes,
Oh,
Lights
man.
Out to the zone. They finished 4th, though. They did finish 4th. That's a great finish for them.
Yeah, they're currently in 7th place, so they just need to get those ranks and a couple of kills to kind of move up the ranks that they're currently in.
Yeah, so that's, they're definitely not going to be disappointed with that finish, but maybe disappointed that it was the mountain that ultimately killed them. They were not able to climb up or get some meds to survive a little bit longer. Here comes an RK versus G25 fight.
And a knock on helmet off. That's pretty good for RK. They've got to make that push on 6th list now.
Yeah, this is the top team. These guys are thinking, okay, we are definitely in a great spot to wipe that top team, really show off here, get some cool highlights against the #1 team in the league right now. They also have Illuminate below. They could probably hear the steps, I'm sure. Yeah, that's Shy Crazy. Did see Patapon. Let's see, can he get the shots? Yes, he can. There's Patapon getting the knock. Martin has such a sharp angle. He's going to rotate down. Whoa, that was incredible. That was amazing. The free fall. Now they've put themselves into a 2nd place finish. It is officially RK versus G25, and it's also a 3v1. RK versus just 6less. Now, normally a 3v1, I'd say, the team that has 3 is probably going to win it, but I do know that 6less is a very good player. I mean, all of them are very good players, but if I had to guess someone could come back from a 3v1, 6less is that guy. Never mind.
Oh, he's
Never
got
mind.
the one knock?
He did get the knock on Lost. He's still in it barely. He's got 20 seconds before he's got to come down off this rock. Maybe he's going to get a med kit. You can see he does have the high ground, so he's able to go prone and not be seen by RK. Lost is going to rotate behind this rock. Maybe Diablo can get the revive. I don't think he's going to be able to do it because it takes 10 seconds for a revive, and the circle's now moving in 3 seconds. If Lost does manage to get up, he might just get knocked from the zone again. Here it comes, actually moving very slowly. Let's see if he can run out. Meanwhile, 6less is going to have to try to smoke his way down. He's going to have to move to the south a little bit for the circle. He is keeping the high ground. Going prone again, you can see very smart plays. Doesn't want to make big movements right away.
Diablo's coming up right on him.
Yeah, he can hear the footsteps. He knows Diablo's below. He's got to be careful because Shy Crazy is rotating around for a better angle. 6less is going to move. Going to jump down.
Oh, and there
Oh,
goes
wow.
6less.
Diablo with the S12K. That was incredible. I don't think we see a gun like the S12K usually come into the final circle like that, but how about RK? They picked up 8 kills, but more importantly, they picked up a 1st place finish. And G25, again, they got 2nd place. I believe they got 2nd in the Vikendi match versus Illuminate. So that 1st place finish so far this week has been eluding them. But again, 10 kills and 2nd place. You really can't complain with that at all. Now, of course, the team that is chasing them is OPGG. So because OPGG did not finish very well this game, only 10th place. They did get 9 kills, though. G25 having better placement and more kills. They will widen their gap over OPGG in 2nd. So G25 is really pulling away with this. And if not before this match, definitely after this match, I would say they've clearly clinched a spot in the playoffs for sure. As long as they literally just show up and get the placement points for the rest of the matches. Illuminate finishing 3rd there with 6 kills, and Lights Out finishing 4th place with 3 kills. So not a ton of kills, but hey, every point counts when it comes to situations like this. Now it was RK in 3rd. You have to guess, are they able to leapfrog OPGG into the 2nd place finish? They got 1 fewer kill, but of course the points between 1st place and 10th place is substantial. So if not jumping them, they've at least closed that gap quite a bit. DSG now finishing 11th. They picked up 1 kill. STK getting 12th with 2 kills. Now, STK is another team that is trying to take out Vicious Gaming. They're in the hunt with Lights Out for that 4th place spot. So not finishing too well there. I imagine that Lights Out's going to be able to gap them just a little bit in terms of the placement points and the kills that they got there. One team I want to take a look at. Yeah, Vicious Gaming, actually. So this is the team in 9th place. They are currently sitting in 4th overall. They're in that last qualifying spot. I'd say like kind of the wild card position. they could get bumped down, having only finished 9th place with 1 kill. 9th place isn't that bad, but hopefully you've at least picked up 5 or 6 kills to really kind of make up for the less placement points you'll get. But with only 1 kill, that's not a lot of points for Vicious Gaming. All the way down, let's take a look at who didn't do that well this match. So that's Animal Squad. They got wiped out very early because they unfortunately had that run-in with another team early on. Serious AF also getting wiped with 0 kills too. It looks like, I think 15th place, you only get like 100 or 115 placement points. So that's not going to move the needle for them at all. Same with Inpan We Trust. We saw a great showing by them on the first Vikendi match, but unfortunately they almost eliminated that progress that they had by finishing 14th with only 1 kill. That's going to be a really tough game to swallow moving forward, and we only have 5 games remaining in the entire regular season. So these teams have 5 more chances to make a big splash on the leaderboards. And remember, one bad game at this point could just put you out of it completely. For these teams to get into that 4th and final qualifying spot, they're going to need to, not only win a bunch of games, but get a ton of kills for those teams that are maybe in like 9th or 10th. At this point, I hate to say it, I haven't been saying it yet, but of course the teams that are, 14th, 15th, 16th, they might be out of it completely. I don't know if they're going to be able to make up that many points in 5 games, let alone stop those teams ahead of them from getting points as well. So they might be eliminated, right? Just as much as you can clinch a spot, you can also clinch the fact that you won't make it. So of course, we'd still love to see everybody coming out and competing and trying to get as many points as they can, even if you don't qualify. But unfortunately, there will be some teams now that after 4 weeks just aren't going to make it.
I've actually got some good news for you, Wynn.
Is it related to a bunch of numbers on a leaderboard?
Why, yes.
Why,
yes,
it
is.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready to see the scores?
I am ready. You ready to go?
Hit
Let's hit it.
Boom.
Okay. We do have, wow, okay.
Look at that jump.
Yeah, 5,300. I'm more impressed, though, that they were able to get above 5,000 before any other team was able to get above 4,000. That is like a fat lead right there. That's a big lead. That is.
They're actually catching up. Currently, after week 4, the team that has the most points is actually Gangstar, sitting at 6,000 points right now. So they may actually, if they get 700 points,
yeah,
they'll be able to be the top team after 4 weeks.
Yeah, true. Like Kim said, Gangstars are not in the Wynnsanity Pro League, but they are in one of our other pro leagues. And after they've played 4 weeks, 6,000 points exactly. That's impressive. So G25, that might be the challenge for them at this point, right? You might not be competing against the teams in this league, but you're looking out at the other leagues, those teams that you're going to be playing against in the playoffs. Now you got to start scouting out the strategies of not just these 19 other teams, but you got to start looking ahead at who you're going to be facing down the line. So that might be what they're going after.
Yep.
Is beating Gangstars from one of our other leagues.
But let's take a look at this. So Lights Out, what did they get?
They moved up to 6th.
From
after
7th.
Yeah, after that 3rd place finish. But remember, it's Illuminate that's only 30 points behind them, and it's Vicious now. We've been saying it for a while. Vicious, they were on the bubble in 4th, and they finally got bumped out. Dramas now is in a qualifying spot with 5 games to go. I'm sure they're very happy to see that. But remember, it's only 60-point difference between Dramas and Vicious. That's just 4 kills. That's not a lot. That's 1 squad wipe. And if you're Vicious and maybe you wipe Dramas, that could be huge for you. So now those are 2 teams that I'm going to be looking for to go head-to-head. And Vicious is probably going to go out and be hunting down Dramas to take back their top spot. Now, Lights Out, like we said, is moving up. Now, these guys have been... they had a little bit of a rough start, actually, when the tournament began. I think after week 1, they were in maybe 13th or 14th, but every week they are grinding it out and moving up a little bit every time. I think after week 2, they went up to like 11th. Then we saw them jump up to about 7th or 8th, and now you see them moving into 6th with 1 game to go. 170 points is what separates them from Vicious, and what separates them from a qualifying spot, it looks like, is 230 points. So that's not a very large margin. There's a bit of a gap, though, between Ruthless Killers and Dramas. You can see RK now cementing themselves a little bit into that 3rd place spot, but I don't think they can kind of take a breath of fresh air and relax, because 1 game like we saw, or at least for them, 1 bad game, from RK could be tough. But hey, you know what? They're coming off of a win. They've got the momentum. I imagine they're going to come out and have a pretty good performance in this 3rd and final match of this week. But like we've said all along, the story, the narrative, it's all about G25 right now. 5,300 points. And that mark of 6,000 with Gangstars in another league, they're going to be trying to pass that and take the overall #1 spot in the entire tournament, not just this league.
Awesome. So let's actually take a look at the format. So the final map that we have today is Vikendi. And the maps are super interesting this week, mainly because, one, for my personal opinion, it's a whole climate idea. You know, you go from the snow back to the desert, and now we're going back into the cold. So let's get all these guys to put their white gear on and see who can actually do well in Vikendi. And like the first match, we had Illuminate and in Pan We Trust actually placed second and third, right? So
Illuminate actually, I believe, won it all. It was G20. It was G25 who got second, right? And they got second again on Miramar. So that first place finish though today is eluding them. If they could pick up a first place here, they very well could cross that 6,000 point mark. And we're almost ready to get started with the third and final match here.
Meanwhile, let's actually do some shout outs. So I've seen a couple people in chat saying hello. I see Sixless in here chatting while he's playing.
Yeah, they are. I think Sixless, definitely a player that doesn't have to be stressed out right now. He knows his team is doing very well, so he can kick back and relax and hang out in the chat in between matches. Shout out to Arceus. Shout out to actually all the mods that are doing a great job helping us out with all the different chats. We are live right now on 4 different platforms. We really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the stream and staying with us throughout the entire tournament. I'm really excited for the playoffs, too. I hope you guys will tune back in and check out the playoffs once that gets started. We'll probably have a little bit more information for you guys. Maybe we'll make a video that explains the playoff system. It's not that complicated, but it's a little bit interesting, and I think now that we get further into the tournament, it definitely is something that we should start talking about. So like we said before, there will be 40 teams that qualify, 20 from the pro leagues and 20 from the contender leagues. Now, what we will have is the 20 pro teams and the 20 contender teams will play in week 1 of the playoffs. Now, what happens, though, is the bottom 10 pros and the top 10 contenders will switch. So now we've got the top 10 pros and the top 10 contenders will play against each other. And then we've got the bottom 10 pros and the bottom 10 contenders will play each other. Now, after week 2, they'll play and we'll swap again. But this time, the bottom 5 and the top 5 swap. So it gets a little tougher after week 2. And I believe at that point, the top 10 pros, so they were top 10 the first week. They're top 10 again. They will automatically qualify for the Pro Championship. They will basically clinch it, as we say, and we have 30 teams remaining going into that final week where we'll play some games with them and really solidify. Oh, I believe actually and then the bottom 10 from the other contenders, they are actually out of it, right? So we've got, after 2 weeks of playoffs, the best 10 so far automatically advance. The bottom 10 of the 2 weeks of play will, unfortunately, they're not like out of it, but they are going to be relegated to the contenders championships. But we have those 20 still in the middle that are still fighting and trying to figure out, are we going to put them in the pro championship or are they going to go down to the contender championship? And we'll have a third week of playoff action to decide that. After the 3 weeks of playoffs, now we've figured it out. We've got the 20 teams that are in the big championship, and the big pro prize pool is larger. The pro prize pool is larger than the contender prize pool, which is why you want to be in the pro championship. We'll have those championships be played out, like we said, April 18th through the 21st. So, like I said, it's not that confusing. Maybe trying to explain it like this, it sounds kind of wacky, but basically we'll be shuffling around the players so that way we know at the end the top 20 teams for sure will be in the pro championship and the other 20 teams will be in the contenders. But with that format, the great part is any contender team, anyone that qualifies could somehow end up in the pro championships, or any pro team might end up in the contender championships if you don't play that well in the playoffs. So really, it's a great system, and I think with Omelet Arcade promoting the new teams, that's why we have the whole contenders division. Any team can come out here and just win it all, right? Like there are no limitations. The sky is the limit for any team.
You know, it's so great. The way we set up the format for the season 2, it's slightly different from season 1. You know, season 1, it was more invitational, bring on the teams that we already know and have them play to compete to be in the championships. However, with season 2, what we're doing is now we're bringing on all these new teams as well as all these pro teams, and it was difficult for us to kind of determine who's considered a pro and who's considered a contender. But moving on to season 3, all of that will be changing because of these scores that we have from season 2. You know, season 3, we're looking to maybe even include another division, a third division. We don't know yet, but with the information we have now and with all these statistics and all these games that we've gone through, I mean, think about it. Even the qualifiers alone, these teams are playing roughly 16 games. That's quite a lot to qualify.
Yeah, that's a lot. Right? This is definitely a commitment. So, you know, again, thank you to the teams for coming out and you know, really just playing their best that they can every week in and week out. And a lot of these teams are actually in multiple divisions too. So a few teams are fortunate where they've got a couple chances, right? I know some teams, like G25, for example, I believe the last time I checked, right, they're dominating in today's league, but they were only, I think, in 7th at one point in one of the other leagues when I checked too. So
you know what? You're right. They are. I'll take a quick look at that.
So for sure, right, like it's all about who you're playing against. Maybe that one league has some couple teams that are able to figure out and crack the code on G25 and able to shut them down. And those teams will advance, but then G25, it's looking like from our league, will advance too. So they're going to have kind of a rematch, so to speak, in the playoffs for sure.
Looks like we should be starting soon.
Yeah, we will be starting very soon. We've got, looks like one team is
missing.
Oh, I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I am not in the spectate slot.
So, you've been in their slot.
I've been in Inpan's slot. I'm sorry. I jumped into the match. I forgot to go in the spectate slot. And Inpan, he's moving around. He's like, get out of my spot. I got to get with my team. I'm sorry about that. I did give away a couple subs in my Twitch chat. I will say that. So we do have some sub hype in the chat right now. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. I'd like to give back to you guys. Of course, thank you to everybody that's watching on Omelet Arcade as well. If you guys don't know what Omelet Arcade is, where have you been the last 4 weeks? But Omelet Arcade is a streaming platform that is just like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook gaming, like all the other streaming platforms, except they are mobile focused. That's what makes them really special and really unique. So if you guys love mobile gaming, if you guys want to stream just from your phone, we have all these computers and monitors and cords and complicated setups, but if you want to be a streamer and you have a phone, you can do it all from the one device in your pocket. It's super cool. You can get chat notifications. You can get donations from viewers. You can invite viewers to play with you. And if you're a viewer yourself, maybe you don't want to stream, you can always go on and watch. And we've got pro players that stream on Omelet. A lot of the pro players that you're seeing in this tournament right here, you can go watch them on Omelet, maybe learn from them, even play with them. They're really nice. We have a great community for PUBG Mobile, but we also have communities for other mobile games too. Maybe we've got some Fortnite mobile fans in the chat. I don't know.
Has anyone been playing? This is my personal game. I actually just started it recently. Life After. I keep talking about this game, but it's moving up the ranks in the App Store. It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. I think Life After, it's a bit of a mix of a Last Day on Earth with zombies and stuff, but I think it also feels like PUBG Mobile where you run around and stuff too, right?
Yeah, there's actually a bit of PvP. You have to scavenge. You're kind of building your own base. And something regarding Omelet and Life After, we're actually going to be doing an event soon for it where we're actually creating a Omelet exclusive Life After camp. So the whole idea of streaming while you're playing, streaming on your phone, we're going to be doing a little slight competition for people who are streaming Life After, and the top maybe 5 to 10 of those streamers get an invite to our exclusive camp led by no one other than me. Come on. How great is that?
Yeah, so as you guys know, we do events all the time for every game, basically. It's not just PUBG Mobile, but of course, PUBG Mobile is one of the best mobile games out there right now. So I'm really excited that we're able to really take it to this level with a big tournament like this. We've got other tournaments too. I know coming up soon, we've got a Guns of Boom tournament. If you guys like a more fast-paced shooter game, 4v4 action, kind of like Counter-Strike or Critical Ops, we have a tournament coming up for that very soon. And we've got just a ton of awesome stuff going on in Omelet all the time. So I do think we should be ready to go.
We'll be starting soon. I think the fourth team or the last
team. I believe team 3 decided to not come. We may have had a team drop out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be Animal Squad.
Maybe that's a big oof. Let's see where they were in the leaderboards.
Looks like Animal Squad will not be joining us.
They were they were in 16th place. I'm not sure, I'd love to see all these teams keep going for sure, but clearly, as you see, Violence and Honor y Gloria, two teams that didn't make it after week 1, unfortunately.
However, what's so great? Some of these teams, they know they're not going to be able to make it to the qualifiers, right? But they still, it's they enjoy playing the game, right? And they enjoy playing against these other pros. And what way to get better than to be able to compete against them? Even if you're not winning, at least you're still gaining that experience and being able to, learn or work on your strategy or your communication between your own team, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know for me, for example, I played in the Star Challenge. My team didn't do that well. It's okay. We were a bunch of iPad players who the first time we ever played on a Note 9 was at the Star Challenge, so it was a bit interesting, right? But just for my standpoint, playing against, guys like Rolex and Carnage and Juicy and literally the people you see in this tournament in Los Angeles was like a once in a lifetime chance. It was really fun to be able to do that. And even though most of the time they clapped my team and me pretty hard, it was really fun to be in that environment playing in a pro tournament like this. So we do have more tournaments like this going on Omelet. I know a couple of our big streamers will do a lot of custom rooms. So if you guys love custom rooms and you're finding it hard to find fun rooms to play in, Omelet definitely is a great spot for you to do that. So, but I do think we have been talking long enough. So you're ready to start this
next match. Also, G25 was not actually in 7th place. They're in 4th place.
Oh, I see. So they have moved up.
Seven Worlds Gaming.
They definitely have moved up then. I know they were lower than that.
They were.
After week 2 or week 3, they were in 7th. But of course, right? You're saying G25 is doing well in a league. That does not surprise me at all. So they're in a qualifying spot for 7 Worlds Gaming's league, but they're also in a qualifying spot here. So I do believe in that situation, right, we would go in 7's league and take the 5th place team. Is that correct?
No. So what we're going to be doing is actually taking the top scores across all the leagues.
Oh, we will.
We're going to be taking the top in difference. So after we take all the top 4 from the teams, if some teams double qualify, then the remaining, that new spot will go to the team that has the largest point gap between the next rank below them.
That's a great example. So that's actually a good thing to bring up. So I have been saying all along, right, the top 4 teams do qualify, but like you said, so if, for example, G25 is in 2 different leagues, qualified in 2 different leagues, we won't take the 5th team from that league. We'll go look at all the other leagues and see what the scores were, because you might not, maybe that 5th place team didn't do as well as a different team in a different league, right? That's where like the total score does matter. That's a good point.
All right, let's get into this match and look at the flight path.
Yes, let's get this map open here. I love seeing all the RP 100s. We got like nothing says a pro lobby than a bunch of level 100 players all trying to fight for that plane skin. A little bit different than the last flight path. I do believe the flight path was like more south last time, but we have a kind of northern path. I imagine a lot of teams will fly south of it, just trying to get some spots like Villa or Cement Factory, but we could have a couple teams maybe go Cosmodrome. Now remember, like we said with the scores, what teams are going to be in contention? They're trying to be fighting for that spot. Like we said, a couple teams, they might not be in it anymore. They're just playing for fun. But teams like RK trying to keep themselves in 3rd place. Teams like Lights Out trying to fight for that qualifying spot. They've climbed up the leaderboards week after week, and they are now within striking distance. One good game from them, and that could be all they need to get into the top 4.
Quick shout out to Lazy Frog. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lazy Frog. You guys make me laugh.
I know, I love you so much.
My face as the emotes on Twitch, and people like to spam them.
You look terrifying in that emote.
I love this emote here, right here. My top tier emote. Only I can use that one. But here we go. We actually have Wonder Boys jumping on top of the exact same compound as DSG. Looks like DSG is gonna run away though. G25 off in the distance as well. Wonder Boys a bit spread out. I'm not sure what their strategy is here. Some teams might on purpose. Wait, we have another run-in. It looks like OPGG and Lights Out, the 2 teams that fought before, I think. If not, I know Lights Out had run into another team up here. It's funny that LO keeps going up into Trevno.
And we've actually got Team Invertus and Serious AF.
Serious AF.
Serious AF.
We don't have to tell you guys what that means, but it means they're really, really serious.
Serious as fun.
As fun. F is for friends.
We do things together.
Yeah.
Such as play PUBG Mobile
Such as play PUBG Mobile. Exactly. Acer and Uneven. They've got each other's backs here. They do know that LO is in the side here. I saw, I think it was Percasus taking shots at LO. If not, if he just accidentally took random shots, well, that means LO heard those shots and now knows that they are over there. Shout out to Ghost Potato. What's going on, Ghost Potato? What's up, Temper? What's up, Chris? Or I should say Critch. Oh, wait, yeah, good call. You were taking a peek at Invertus, right? They're very, very close.
They are lit right now.
Yeah, they got low health.
SAF is definitely pinning them.
Mad Mike and Versace, very low in health, have no meds. And that's All Sights and Aaron. They had an unfortunate run-in last match with OPGG. It was Aaron that had that AWM from the care package and had it stolen right away from her. There's General actually trying to shoot back. Mad Mike and Versace were able to get their health back up where it should be. Got a lot of teams actually. Got Wonder Boys, that's G25, that's DSG down on the southeast side. They're going to have to go quite a ways to get up into the zone. It looks like Lights Out actually did get a vehicle, and they will be trying to escape. Trevno. Oh no, look at this. LO is like, has them, they've backed themselves up into this little like thing. Here comes
Look at all those names.
Here comes, oh, Seagut getting knocked, almost
How did he
thirsted
get
with a
knocked
knock.
twice there?
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
2 nades that went off right on top of his body.
Well, remember, when you get knocked, you're invincible for a little bit. There's Outsider. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad.
That's really.
Okay, Lucy is all alone right now. There's one knock. I don't think LO is going to survive this at all. Oh no, they're going to go out first.
LO. First team wipe.
That is unfortunate for them because we did say how close they were to, you know, just getting into that 4th place spot. One of the teams that does have a chance to make a big splash here, and well, they definitely splashed in the wrong direction. That is going to be
Yikes.
That is a big yikes, a big oof for them. OPGG though, they've got to be really happy. They want to keep their spot in the top 4, and they want to stop those teams from taking it. And of course, Lights Out was one of the teams that was the closest to taking it from them. Let's go back at the fight between Invertus and SAF. Looks like they have spread out just a little bit. Sometimes these early fights, like I said in Miramar, they kind of slow you down. You know, if you don't get the kills and don't get the loot, all they really do is waste your bullets, and if you get shot, it's just going to ruin your vest. And then later on, you're not going to have that good of equipment because you got caught in a fight early on.
It doesn't seem like neither wants to engage with each other just yet. They're playing it safe. Which I think is smart because they're both in zone too. Like, they're perfectly positioned.
Exactly, right? Just because you see another team, it doesn't always mean you have to go and shoot them or rush them or go super aggressive, right? You know, it's never a bad idea to just sit back and relax. We saw a couple teams do that in Miramar too, right? Just by hiding when they were in maybe 6th place and a couple teams die, now they're in 4th place and they didn't have to do anything, and that's just more points. So patience is a huge key when it comes to professional play on PUBG Mobile. See, General there does see some of the SAF members, but he is going to be inhibited a little bit by the fact that he doesn't have a scope. The UMP has one of, I think, in my opinion, one of the worst iron sights. It's very bulky. The reticle's very small, or the sights are very small, and it's hard to shoot people, especially at distance. Some teams.
It looks like he's pushing into a monster. He knows he's in that compound over there, Mad Mike. Let's see.
Looks like some of these teams they're finally trying to get into the zone as well. You can see that red zone is on RK. That could be a little bit of trouble. We have seen a fair share of players getting knocked from bombs just falling from the sky. So, you know, you might have a 95% chance it won't hit you, but you never want to be there when it is that 5% chance you get blown up. Looks like DSG is actually going to have another run-in with Revenant as well. They are pretty close to one another. As you can see, a little bit southeast of Podvosto. Also Illuminate too with DSG. That is Martin. He's going to be taking some... he's going to be scoping in. He knows that DSG is just up to the north. He has an M24. He also has that level 3 helmet. He looks pretty stacked. I can't tell what gun is on his back. It looks like maybe an M762 or an M4, but he is loaded to say the least. I'm not sure if DSG has any idea that he's here. he has to be careful. He has rotated up a little bit far from the rest of his teammates, so if he gets knocked, it's not going to be that easy for them to get the revive. And if you look at the circle too, you can tell that it looks like DSG is in, but Illuminate has to go up through DSG if they want to get into the zone. So they're going to have to be very tactical in how they take this compound from them. And never mind, when I say tactical, that might mean Armjone just driving up, completely aggressive. So they definitely know he's here now. Easy is just on the other side of the of this house here. He's going to throw it at Batman. Here comes Easy. He's going to hop the window and say, surprise, I was in there the whole time. Oh, never mind. Easy's actually going to get knocked too. So now both these teams are hurting pretty badly. Batman, though, can get the revive on Easy. Armjone's revive, that's going to be a little bit tougher because he did get separated. That's why driving up like that was a risky play. He's going to rotate, or well, I say rotate a lot, but he's just crawling. He's not rotating. He's just going to crawl over to some cover. He knows that DSG is getting the revive, so it buys him a little bit of time to hide himself. That also buys his teammates time to maybe get up and get the revive. He didn't want to hide behind that car because it could blow up and take him out all the way. Here's Martin with that M762. Did get a lot of shots on Batman. Going to try to finish him off with the frag grenade and rotate around, try to get a better angle on this wall. Here comes 27 Zelly. Martin did see Zelly peek there for just a second. Here comes Estella. If Estella peeks around the corner, Martin could quickly get him by surprise. Oh, that was Easy actually getting some shots back on Patapon. Mad Toy from behind is going to then re-knock Easy. Easy.
Right across the wall from each other right here.
Yeah. He's going to try to jump. That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, wow. The vaulting. Yeah, unfortunately, when you vault like that, yeah, you can't shoot while you're in the middle of climbing a wall. That was a bad idea from DSG. Yeah, Martin had the right idea. He was trying to jump and get some shots over the wall, but it was DSG that tried to literally just vault over the wall. It was not a good idea, and Illuminate now picking up a squad wipe, 4 kills, and they are rolling just like they did in match 1 today, where they won the first Vikendi game that we had. Oh, we do finally have some shots now. Mad Mike here with Invertus now taking shots at Serious AF. Invertus now completely surrounding SAF. You see Mad Mike's in the window, Versace on the opposite side, and then General looking on from the middle. All Sights is in a bad spot. He's just hidden behind this little stone wall. Gonna have to run away, get behind the tree. Gets there quickly enough before Mad Mike is able to get the shots on him for good. All Sights now does have a little bit better high ground. Does have an SLR on his back. You might want to try to use that. It's a pretty good gun at mid-range. DMRs are very effective, I think, on Vikendi. A lot of open territory, a lot of kind of flat, snowy areas where some semi-auto shots can do well. And there he goes down. Oh, and the Molotov to finish him off.
Perfect.
That was really well played.
Oh my gosh.
Bright. Oh, and they threw in another one just for a bit of assurance, but that first one was so well thrown they did get him. Monster now hidden behind a tree, was taking some shots from Versace. Versace now getting taken out.
Down by Aaron.
Knocked and potentially finished off all the way. Yes,
yep.
Aaron does get the kill for
and
her team.
Goes Monster.
SAF in trouble right now. Aaron did pick up a kill just to solidify a couple points there.
Here comes Bright wrapping around just to finish off Monster, but they are going up on that second house to get Aaron. This does not look good for SAF. Serious as fun. Oh no. Bright's gonna be able to look down and just finish off Monster right there.
Oh, and Monster's like, oh, that was a bad idea. Let me crawl back, but the damage has been done, and there he goes. At this point, Aaron should just pack up, leave town, and live to fight another day for sure. OPGG, you can see them off in the distance here as well. I'm not sure how far or how close they are. Oh, never mind. They're actually really far. I'm surprised they showed up like that. OPGG's really far away. Meanwhile, we have Dramas and Vicious Gaming. These are two teams. Remember, they have some bad blood here because it was Dramas that finally bumped Vicious Gaming down into 5th from a spot that they were holding onto dearly for at least like 2 or 3 weeks. And Vicious now falling into 5th. They are no longer going to be qualifying if they can't get back into 4th place. and it was Dramas that bumped them out. You can see they're in this little bit of like a diamond formation on the mini-map. They've got great positioning. They're spread out just a little bit, but they're still close enough that they can help each other out. Sometimes you don't want to cluster up like behind a tree or a rock because like we saw, one Molotov or one frag could take out your whole team, and you definitely want to avoid a situation like that. Same with Vicious Gaming. They are spread out a little bit, and you can see Chris.
Ooh, there goes helmet off. Just sniping GM snipes. Getting a knock instantly.
Yeah, and the kill feed helmet off doing work with MT4. Let's take a look at that fight. He definitely got that kill from range, though. Looks like they might be trying to gatekeep Revenant a little bit. Revenant's going to have to move for the zone. Taking another shot. He's got the silenced M24. And there's another knock on Tanker with the headshot. Just a 3x, too. This is pretty impressive. The 3x is not that big of an optic, so he's doing really well to snipe with such a small sight. You know, a 6x or even an 8x, I'm sure he'd prefer in a situation like this. But they got the knock. It looks like they will get into the zone, though. They don't want to get caught in a fight that's going to, you know, put them into a bad position. They don't want to get tunnel vision, so to speak. If you focus too much on just one team and you forget everything that's going on around you, that's when you get third-partied, or you figure out, oh, crap, the circle's coming, I got to move. So it's really smart for them to get a little bit closer in the zone. He is going to stop here and maybe look back at Revenant, try to take them out as they come into the circle. Looks like we do have Illuminate and
Shoot to kill.
STK, yeah. And STK does have the high ground. Shooting down on Arm Jump. I think he got a couple shots into this rock, unfortunately. Illuminate, there's a team that's been doing really well. They moved up the leaderboards quite a bit. STK also moving up there in the top 4 as well. So these are two teams that are would probably be very happy to take out one another. But again, like we mentioned before, sometimes you don't need to move. If you're already in the zone, why bother to run into a fight that is only going to be bad for you? So in fact,
they're about to drive off.
Yeah, they are going to actually run away, run the exact opposite direction of the fighting. And sometimes that's never a bad idea too. Actually, let's look at In Pan. In Pan is they're seeing Wonder Boys drive right past them. They decided not to fire though. That's takes a lot of restraint and patience to not give away your position like that. They decided, we don't want to get in a fight right now. That's okay. Let's let them just keep going. Let's see what Wonder Boys does. They did stop momentarily, but they will keep going. So I don't think Wonder Boys saw In Pan at all. They were able to keep themselves hidden. Looks like they're also taking multiple cars. That's a good idea. Go in teams of 2, so you can have 2 drivers and 2 shooters.
We've actually got a fight between OPGG and Vicious Gaming in here, and OPGG just got into 2 knocks on VG. And that's actually a full squad wipe.
Wow.
They just completely wiped Vicious Gaming.
OPGG. Yeah, wiping Vicious. That's great for them because, like we keep saying, the leaderboard is what these players are keeping in the back of their minds. So they know Vicious is hot on our trail. We're in 3rd, we're in 2nd, they're in 5th. They could easily come up and jump us in the leaderboard. So if we take them out early, that's gonna help us out. And there's Serious AF actually taking out a couple members of Invertus. Remember, this is that fight that's been going on where Aaron was alone. Oh, there we go. So Mad Mike does finish off Aaron, but not before Aaron knocked and completely took out, I think it was Bright in the kill feed there. So Invertus now has to continue with only 2 members. Let's look at Helmet Off as well. He was keeping an eye on Revenant. He might see them in the distance. He's going to be driving up, I think. And remember, he does have that M24. He's going to move up with his other teammates, get in the zone. I'm not sure where his teammates are, but if they see Revenant, they could always communicate and say, hey, they're coming up on us. Let's rotate around in the back and take him out as they drive by. He's actually going to go off, it looks like, behind from his teammates. He's going to run up on Illuminate, and he's going to be by himself, too. Here's the shots.
Actually, the rest of his team are following.
Okay, are they? Okay, yeah, it looks like they will decide to move on with him, but he is kind of taking the charge here in this vehicle. Oh, Helmet Off taking half of his health there. Did get hit in the head pretty hard. Where's he going to stop? He's going from compound to compound, just trying to find a place to stop. And everywhere he goes, there's another team. He decides to finally stop here. He's going to get knocked. The car is about to blow up, and it's going to finish him off. That's Drama's Cheeto with the knock and then kill with the vehicle explosion, taking out one of G25's members. They are now relegated to a 3-man squad. I'm sure Helmetoff would have had a hard time here anyway, just because he was mere meters from OPGG at this compound. And he was pinned in between STK just down the hill as well. That was a gauntlet, and it was one that he did not survive. Let's zoom in here a little bit on the map. You see we've got a nice northern circle. We've got Port. We've got Krychas, Coal Mine, Goroka. A lot of great spots still remaining. It's one of the things I do like about Vikendi is you can get some really great forest finishes, like hills, you know, not a lot of cover, more like rural. But then you can also have these great urban fights too inside these dense towns. And I would say of all the maps, besides maybe Miramar, Vikendi does have some of the densest urban areas that you'll find in PUBG Mobile. OPGG and STK now trading shots. Now this is an even more interesting fight because OPGG is second in the leaderboards and STK is third. So these are two teams that are very close to one another. See Uneven trying to get some health back restored. Here's Percasis with the M24, trying to get just one peek from STK. That's all it's gonna take. Oh, he saw Russell. I think that shot landed in the window, unfortunately. But with an M24, all you need is one good shot. They are in the zone. They've got their vehicles. They've got a compound. They're safe. They've got basically everything they need to survive the rest of this game. There's a great shot on STK. Wasn't able to connect with the headshot. So he's not going to get the knock, but clearly taking his health down substantially. He's going to have to heal himself back up, waste more of his meds in order to get back to full health, and that's going to be less meds he has later in the game. Mad Mike's also getting in a fight here with Genome Gaming. Genome is a team we haven't heard too much from this game so far, but they're still in it. They're now in the top 10. Here comes Blood, throwing out some really great Molotovs. Got Mad Mike pinned in the corner. General also went down on Invertus, so you can see Bulls and Blood now pushing up. See if they can get Mad Mike. Mad Mike, he's going to take... Oh, no, he is actually going to get taken out, and Invertus is finished off, and that is a pretty decent squad wipe for Genome Gaming. Well, actually, they have 2 kills, but they were able to finish off that team and move themselves up into 9th place now. Only 9 teams remaining. You can see Mad Toy trying to take up this warehouse, a bit separated from the rest of the Illuminate members, and in the distance, it looks like that is Revenant. Yeah, Revenant. They were taking fire from G25, right? One of the best teams right now, and they were able to survive that, and they're still going. Let's look at the new circle. It's shifted really just centrally located in the middle of the previous circle, but all these teams on the outskirts, like Inpan and Revenant, they are going to have to go to try to get into the zone, and they don't want to run up on a compound that already has another team. Like we saw Helmet Off. He was trying to escape, and everywhere he turned, there was another team waiting for him.
Oh, looks like Martin actually got a knock on Tanker. Yeah,
Martin, he has an MT4, and he does have the 8X, so he's got a lot of range. You got to feel bad for these Revenant guys. They have just been besieged by M24 shots this whole match from multiple teams.
What is this glitch? Okay, there we go.
No matter where they go, they are getting sniped, but somehow staying alive here. And you can see this 8X obviously just provides such a huge advantage in terms of optics. And when the circle's this small, everywhere you look, you're going to find a team. So it's just a sniper's paradise, as I like to say, for the rest of this match, especially for Martin. Here's Zanoth, actually. Looks like he was taking shots.
Be careful here because he's pulling up right on top of Drama.
Here's Patapon taking some shots. Crashed it up on this house here. He's going to try to med up, and he's very close to Tamal and Rojas. There was a frag that came from Rojas. It did not quite reach the house where Armjone was. Here comes Cheeto. Patapan's got to be careful. He's got 3 Dramas members right on the other side of this wall, and he doesn't have any teammates near him, so he could easily get knocked in. Thursday, he's actually going to get taken down very low through the window. See if he can heal up here. Here's Mad Toy, who's going to rotate around, get an angle. There's the knock on Rojas. Can he get Tamal? He can see Cheeto through the window. He does see Cheeto. He is going to get the knock on Cheeto. That's 2 down for Dramas. Illuminate now has a huge advantage. Their 4th and final teammates can be rolling up to help them out in this fight. There's, you see Martin on the motorcycle going to crash it up on this house. Get a better angle. Wait, Rojas is actually going to get thirsted from OPGG. That's a stolen kill. And that's 15 points that OPGG just stole from Illuminate.
Oh, there's a molly right on Tamal from Illuminate.
That is going to definitely finish him off.
Will that finish him?
Oh, wait, no.
No, it
No,
didn't.
he was able to climb out of it. Had about 5 hit points left. Armzone now throwing a Molotov in a frag near Munoz. Not able to connect with it. It looks like Munoz and Tamal are the only ones up. And one of the Illuminate members was also knocked. He will be getting revived next to this vehicle here.
Looks like Patty Pan's going to go ahead and try and make that push.
He's going to pick up some loot from one of the downed Dramas members here. Got the M762 deadly close range gun. Let's see what all this shooting's about.
There's another molly right on top of Tamal. He's not.
They're pushing up the staircase. They're going to get Tamal. Tamal getting taken out, but I do believe one Dramas member is still alive.
Molly. He put it there so that Tamal had to go out and towards the stairway.
Yeah, sometimes Molotovs, it's not about the damage, but it's about forcing the players to have to move around because obviously they don't want to stand in the fire.
That's exactly what's happening to Munoz over here, too. There's like mollies being thrown at him from Martin.
I don't know where these guys get all these Molotovs. I play PUBG Mobile quite a bit, and I never find this many Molotovs.
Like 4 or 5 already.
I know, they are stacked on mollies right now.
It's like, we don't need the nades, just give us all mollies.
I know, right? They're really showing why it's one of the most underutilized throwables in the game. It has a lot of versatility.
Here comes Martin.
Here comes Martin. Got this angle right now. Munoz hiding in the bathroom. They know where he is. They definitely can hear him. Let's see if he can get the knocks at Patapon. They're going to jump in. He's going to spray. Got the 1 knock. Nope. That's the problem about being outnumbered. You can get 1 knock, but you just can't get 2 or 3 or even 4. See Mad Toy taking a few shots from Genome Gaming. He's very low. They're going to have to get the revive now or else he's going to die. They will get it. They do have some cover, but like we saw, Genome and OPGG are now lurking in the distance, and the zone is coming. I think Illumina is in. If not, they are barely out of the circle. 6 teams remaining, G25, OPGG, STK still going strong, and Wonder Boys, a team that unfortunately goes out kind of early some matches, even though I do think they are a very good team. It's nice to see they're in the top 6 here. Let's see what they can do and maybe get their first chicken dinner of the tournament. I believe they have not won a game yet, and that would really give them some much-needed momentum in these last 2 weeks. Never mind, Illusions is actually going to get hit here. They are pinned. Ooh, the counter shooting, getting Patapon down. Actually, no, I think even though CGO was shooting, I do think OPGG actually got that knock on Patapon. You know, how crazy is that? When you peek, you get shot by 2 different teams. That's how dangerous it can be sometimes. And let's take a look actually at the circle. Let's find out where that is and who our 6th remaining team is. Genome, Illuminate, Wonder Boys, STK, G25, and OPGG are the 6 teams here. G25 outside of the zone. They're the last team to really come in. They are taking some damage from the circle as well. Here's Genome. They do have the positioning on this hill. They've elected to use more rocks and trees for cover instead of buildings like these other teams. Gives them a little bit more ability to freely drive around too. You can also see Wonder Boys doing the same thing, driving that UAZ up, but actually going to fall back and hide in the shed with CGO. Now they have to be really careful, obviously, as STK, who's been in this compound, I think, for most of the game. Same with OPGG. They've gotten really lucky. They haven't had to move for quite some time, and that is Genome actually getting knocked by Acer. Acer getting another knock almost on Chris. Chris now down to 1 hit point, able to get to cover. Let's see if he can med up. But for Genome, they're most concerned with Bulls, who needs to get revived. Next circle did move into the middle again. OPGG is the only team that's in the zone. They don't have to come out of this compound. They've got great positioning here, and a win for them would do really well. Let's also see if OPGG wants to try to take out G25. A 6th place finish wouldn't be that bad, but you know that would be a good move to stop G25 from getting even more points than they already will.
It looks like Illuminate's actually going to come right onto Genome Gaming. Like, Matoys wants to rotate around. He's going to be able to look down at them right there.
Yeah, Genome's in a really bad spot. You can see they're just clumped up here on the edge of the circle. Not a lot of cover. And you can see Madtoy able to get some shots off on them. He has to be careful. He has the angle, but he
is alone.
He is alone, right? It could be a 3v1. Here comes Chris.
Yep.
They're trying to peek over this edge. This circle is now moving slowly. That's going to push Genome in. It looks like STK is finally getting pushed out of their compound. OPGG is going to be raining down on them as they cross the street. Same with Wonder Boys. They're trying to get into the zone as well. The smoke walls are now coming out. Smoke's everywhere so that everybody can try to move into the northern zone. Not a lot of cover, too. They've got to run across open field. Looks like Russell is down, and OPGG was trying to finish him off with that frag. Wonder Boys now getting into a pretty heavy fight with STK. Here's Jam. Oh, Jam, I think, went down to the play zone. He got hit quite a bit, and it was that little bit of HP. No, never mind. It was Wi-Fi actually getting credited that kill for Jam. And now 5 teams remain as Wonder Boys gets taken out.
It looks like Illuminates one of them's getting knocked, and 2 of them just got killed from a nade by OPGG.
Look at this next circle, too. It's very small. And OPGG somehow is still in it. At least half their team doesn't have to move. And G25, we haven't heard much from them, but let's see what they are doing here. Oh, yeah, they're just going to hide on these rocks. They've got 30 seconds before they really need to move. So they're just playing it patiently. They have only 4 kills, not a huge kill count for them, but they are, just like any other team, fully aware of how many points a first place finish is worth.
Oh, and Matoy from Illuminate was able to, like, pick out STK, got him down more than halfway. But it is just Illuminate Matoy. The rest of his team did, unfortunately, die to OPGG. He actually just got a knock on OPGG Xenoth, and he finished them, too.
Yeah, only 14 players now. That's STK is the only fully remaining squad of 4. OPGG has 3 members. G25 and Genome each have 3 members. And it's Madto from Illuminate who is still going solo. The smokes are now coming out from OPGG. They have to move down to regroup with the rest of their teammates. And they've also got to fight with Genome, who has the same idea. They're going to be running right alongside each other. This could be a fight for territory in this next circle. G25, look at that. They went from the rock into this house just like that. That's how quickly they were able to get up and go into the zone.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Matoy, he's going to follow along with the rest of his team. Unfortunately, STK finished him off.
OPGG uneven also going down there. So G25 now is the only team in this house. 12 players remaining. Juicy out of the frame here, but he is still up and alive. Acer actually also down for OPGG. That OPGG went from having great positioning to being on the verge of elimination here. That's Percasis throwing out some smokes. Acer now getting finished. Angry getting credited with that kill on OPGG. STK, though, they're still in the zone, still have a full squad, and Genome as well. Not a team we see in the final circles that often, but it's great to see them still holding on here with 3 members of their team alive. Let's take a look at STK Steven. He can see Angry through the window. Waiting for another peek there. He's going to pre-fire a little bit, but G25 is going to move up onto the roof, actually.
Oh, and Juicy actually just got knocked from the play zone. And it looks like he will be going down.
Yeah, I think he waited outside of the zone a little too long. He was able to heal up, but then was not able to heal again. That's the problem. When you're taking damage from the circle and then it closes on you, it starts doing even more damage. So you have to be careful about knowing exactly when it closes. 10 players remaining, 4 teams. G25, OPGG, and STK. They are in first, second, and third overall in that order. But it's Genome that is also making a splash here with the big boys.
But they're going to have to move out. That zone is pushing in on them.
Yeah.
STK is going to have a
Here comes Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is going to see Chris taking him out. He's going to see Blood and Kaz too. Blood's now down, but they also have to run in as well.
Angry and G25 just from the roof, and they are both out as well. So
Sixless taken out. That's a 3rd place finish from them.
Percasus does not seem like
this circle actually, STK is going to maybe win this. STK fading into nothing. That is the final circle, and it is now gone. And there you have it. STK picking up another first place finish. I believe they won our last game. Is that correct? I think STK had finished first place on Miramar today.
They did not.
No, they didn't. Okay,
they
never mind.
actually got 9th and 12th place. So they really
Oh, I see.
went up
I'm
the
thinking.
ranks
I
for
think
this.
I'm thinking last week. I do know that STK has really rallied in the second half of this regular season. I know they picked up a victory at some point along the way, which is what accelerated them or launched them up into a top 3 position. And now they picked up, it looks like 10 kills, first place, and OPGG picks up 12 kills with a second place. So if anything, having G25 only get third and only get 7 kills, the gap will close a little bit. It's still a very substantial gap that G25 has, but OPGG closed it by a little bit more placement and 3 more kills. And of course, STK getting first place with a bunch of kills as well. But like we said, Genome Gaming getting 4th place with 3 kills, that's a really good performance for them. And they're a team that isn't quite out of it yet. I mean, if they have finishes like this consistently for the rest of the regular season, we have 4 matches to go in week 5. If they can do that, they might, and I mean loosely, they might have a chance to make it coming out of 10th place. But this definitely is a great turn of events for them. Illuminate also finishing 5th. That's not terrible. But, of course, they did get, it looks like, 8 kills. That's going to be a lot of points for them as well. So
We actually have the scores.
You do
I know
have
we can talk about them now, but do we want to talk about it now, or do we want to talk about couple other things before we throw up the scores?
we could keep doing this. Before we show the scores, we could just, let's just still wrap our head around everything that happened here. Wonder Boys, remember, 4 kills, 6th place. That's a pretty decent finish for them, I'd say. In Pan getting 7th, but no kills. Really, the teams that get no kills, that's what hurts you. But of course, definitely, I think part of the story here that is sad is teams that were in the hunt, like RK and or I'm sorry, I think it's RK. I keep getting STK and RK confused. I apologize. I think RK is actually. Let's actually go to the scores right now. Let's just check it out. I think it's RK. Yeah, sorry. It's STK that's in 4th, RK in 3rd. But RK actually having fallen out in 13th that game with 0 kills, they might fall down quite a bit there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Lights Out, they made their way up to 6th previous round, and they were the first team to get out this game.
I do think, yeah. I think they'll fall to 9th.
They may. They have to really pick up the pace and going into the 5th week really pull it together if they want to make it out to that playoffs.
I'm not sure if Invertus will gap them. I want to say Invertus finishing 10th with only 3 kills. That's not a ton of points. Obviously, there's more placement from between 10th and 15th.
Wait, these are the scores.
Oh, they are?
These are the scores.
Oh, why am I saying? Oh, yeah. Why I'm getting confused. Okay, never mind. So LO did keep Invertus at bay there, but Invertus did get close the gap a little bit between the 8th and 9th place finish. That's a good call. I was looking at them thinking they hadn't been updated yet. But Kim's so fast, she actually had updated them.
Morb. So thanks to
Morb,
that's
why
I could actually talk to you guys this time, because Morb did the scores for us. That way now we can just talk a little bit more and jump right into the score. So thank you, Morb, for helping us out with that. And unfortunately, I was really hoping to see G25 get that 6,000 points, you know?
Yeah, only picking up 420 points that time. But, only 420 for G25. I'm sure a lot of other teams would be really happy to get 420 points. So it looks like Gangstars through week 4 will be the top team overall, eclipsing 6,000 points. Of course, they're not in this league. They are in a different league. But still, really, we want to pay attention now across all leagues where these teams are finishing, because that's what's going to happen in the playoffs. Those are the teams that are going to make it and continue on. So yeah, I've been really pleased with how today turned out. We started off with a little bit of technical difficulties with our audio. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It's funny, streaming, if you've never streamed before, it is an unusual thing. You could have everything set up, not touch anything, come back, and then something's broken. And then just something breaks, right? Like you turn your computer on and it's just something happens, and I'm glad we were able to get to the bottom of it and fix it. But yeah, that was some great action. I know our stream was on a 4-minute delay, so it looks like people are just starting to see that ending. We get some GGs in the chat, and that OP nade from Sixless, giving him credit. I think it was STK that was able to get the last kill on OPGG, right? He could have just died out of the zone and prevented them from getting those 15 points, but they got the kill with the nade, so they were able to get the 15 points, because if you die to the play zone, then nobody gets those points. So we have seen some teams die to the zone on purpose at the very end. They know it's like, oh, it's a 4 versus 1. There's no way I'm going to beat these guys. I should just die anyway. That way I don't give them 15 points, right? I'll just take myself out of contention. So that is definitely a strategy where dying on purpose could be a good thing. So yeah, I think that was great. Thank you again to everybody that was tuning in, and really appreciate the support on Omelet, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You guys are the best. We will be getting some highlights up. I do need to make the highlight video for week 3, so that will be coming hopefully very soon. Then we'll get the highlights out for week 4. All that content is on my channel and is also on the Omelet Arcade YouTube channel as well, if you guys want to go back and watch the action, or if you're any of the pro teams that want to go back and study the footage and learn from your mistakes or from other teams' mistakes and hopefully readjust your strategy. So
you definitely have to do that. These teams, the ones especially that are so close to each other between like 5th and 10th place, they really got to spend time to learn more about the other team's strategy, because next week is the final week for the playoffs. They really got to pick it up if they want to make it there.
Yeah, fortunately though, we do have 1 extra game next week. Every week so far has been 3 matches, but next week we will have 4 matches. We want to make sure at the end, with 16 games, right? Yeah, 16 games. The reason we're doing 4 is so that we can officially say we had 8 first person, 8 third person. If we only did 3, then it would be a little lopsided, and we want to make sure it's completely even. Now, next week we'll have different maps. I want to say it's Erangel, Miramar, and then
I think we are bringing Sandhawk.
And I think, is Sandhawk in the
Yeah, so next week will be TPP Erangel, TPP Miramar, and then FPP Erangel, and then FPP Sandhawk.
Yeah, so we'll sneak one more Sandhawk game in kind of that bonus 16th match where it's just going to be crazy, and that will be the last game before playoff selections are officially made and the leaderboards get locked in, and no more points will be earned. So there will be 4 matches next week, so make sure you guys tune in. I think we'll actually be streaming live from Austin, Texas. We will be taking a lot of our streaming equipment with us, and we will be streaming live from South by Southwest, the big like tech convention in Austin, Texas. Omelet Arcade's doing a lot of cool stuff down there, so make sure you follow us as we have some fun adventures in Texas. But we will be live, not from the studio.
We won't be live from South by Southwest, but we'll be live nearby.
Nearby.
South by
Yeah,
Southwest.
we'll be there.
Just to clear that up.
We'll be there for South by Southwest, but we'll be streaming somewhere not at the convention, but it won't look like this, needless to say.
Hopefully it'll look even cooler.
Yeah, maybe who
we
knows
might
what we'll
next
do.
to a pool or a lake or some place.
Maybe on a boat. I don't know. Who knows?
On a boat.
Who knows what we're gonna do out over in
paddleboarding
Texas?
Stream as we're paddleboarding in 70 degrees weather.
Yeah. So anyway, as the GGs are now coming through the chat, we're looking at the leaderboards for the stream. So anyway, I think we'll end it there. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. My name is Wynnsanity. This is Kim, or aka Kimvo Slice. She also is a Twitch streamer if you guys want to give her a follow.
Well, I haven't streamed in a while, but
yeah, but she still has a lot of followers though. She's just streamed quite a bit, so make sure you give her a follow, and a huge shout out to her for doing all of the hard work every week, and then also filling in for Metal as he was not able to come today, but hopefully we'll be back in the studio soon. Tomorrow we have another league. I know you guys probably already know this, but we have leagues every single day for season 2. Action every day, literally every day. We have 11 leagues, and when you only have 7 days a week, you got to have action every single day. So tomorrow we have 3 leagues actually, because it's Sunday. We have Derek Couture, then we have Wicked Gaming at 8 o'clock, and then Monica at 10 o'clock tomorrow for some late night action. So make sure you check that out on Omelet Arcade. And yeah, make sure you guys follow me too. I appreciate the support on YouTube and on Twitch. If you want to see more content from myself, or I'll even give Metalcore a shout out, and Kim too. Metal usually casts here, and if you guys want to follow him too, he has a league on Tuesdays, so make sure you subscribe and follow him as well. And of course, both Metal and I have a ton of videos on our channels. If you guys want to just see some good old-fashioned PUBG mobile content, we have plenty of that for you guys as well. So yeah.
And in terms of videos, if you guys ever see anything, please clip it for us.
True, good point.
And honestly, just start spamming us on Twitter with all these tweets or all these photos or footage. And some of these players are actually still streaming or recording their gameplay from their end as well. Send us all of that content. You know, we want to make more.
If you have highlights, yeah. If you've got awesome moments, cool squad wipes, or any, like that Molotov kill was like a super cool highlight, I think, that we'll have to share as well. But any cool moments like that, definitely share them, retweet, and all kinds of stuff. To get the word out, because even though the regular season is coming to a close next week, the real cool action is just about to begin with the playoffs. So stick around for more stuff in the coming weeks. And just a quick reminder, the finals will be April 18th through the 21st.
Yes.
Cool. I think that's everything.
I think that's everything. Yeah, someone did ask, like, who would be casting the playoffs and who's going to be casting the finals. Right now, that is still being decided, and when we find out, we won't tell you guys right away, but we'll release it on the final matches. Well, actually, towards the end of our playoffs, or sorry, end of next week.
Regular season, yeah.
Yes, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah. But if you guys have a favorite caster, if you want to like tell Omelet who you think should cast, definitely tweet at them, and we could see who the fan favorites are for the tournament. Yeah.
We actually might be getting a poll together to see who would be the audience's favorite caster.
Yeah, there you go. And if you guys liked us casting, then maybe you can vote for us too. So definitely appreciate the support either way. I'm just excited to see how these teams play out, no matter who is casting. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. That's going to be it for us, and we will see you guys later.
All right.
Except I've got to get up to end the stream. So.
All right, that's right.
Cool.
Go ahead and walk up to end the stream.
All right.
And I will sit here. Goodbye, everybody. It was very nice to sub in for Metal.